Welcome back to the One Predator podcast.
All right, another episode, One Predator podcast. We're live. Sorry for the delay. Technical difficulties as usual because I don't know how to set anything up. Apparently. So we're doing it this way. We'll do it another way another time.
Live action, even with the screw ups.
We're still doing this.
Well, it's hard with the live stuff because you got to go live,
right?
And in order to test run it,
We're gonna do a live hit on at 8:30, and then we'll be back at 9 if all works.
Right.
Oh well,
we're gonna
work out the bugs.
Oh.
You're not. Yeah, your microphone.
There I am.
Yeah, no, you can't hear you at all.
Yeah, that's fine.
Now we're live, waiting for people to show up because now we're a half hour late. So, hey,
Is Brian on?
Down South Tony.
Down South Tony.
Nice.
The dirty South.
Dirty South. I'll text Brian because I know he was just.
Yeah.
Said damn tech guys.
Oh, you texted him?
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm trying. I'll do better next time. I'm sorry.
All right, I at least told the because Brian shared it on his page, so I was gonna.
Yeah,
I just put technical difficulties standby.
Okay.
So,
How many? We got one.
Three.
Wait for a couple. We got three. Well, comments. So
well, I'm
here.
one of them.
Oh well,
so.
duh. Okay, so we got two.
Sometimes
I got
it works
two.
that way. Does it say who the followers are or the viewers are?
No, only if they comment.
Only Tony did. He said, "Hey."
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, let's talk about coyotes.
What are we at?
I don't. 52.
52.
52.
Phew.
Yeah.
What do you?
How many
have,
misses though?
12.
bitch?
Not 12 misses. No.
You're
many
now they're
misses?
talking their numbers.
How many misses do you have?
Josh, it's all right because you'll
Zero.
catch up.
You have 0. I thought you had 1. You said.
Well, no.
I lost one.
What? So okay.
Oh boy.
So
Here we
there's
go.
misses, and then there's unrecovered. He hit it.
I hit it. Didn't recover.
It bled everywhere. It just.
Well,
Didn't recover.
I guess we could count it as a miss.
Is it yeah, right?
I mean, it's a hit, but I guess we can make it a separate count. I guess
So
we
what
don't feel
do
bad.
I call the bobcat? Left a blood trail going through the reeds, and I couldn't find it.
We could just,
Unrecovered.
it would just be
So,
unrecovered.
it's unrecovered.
So with
So
all
what-
the
what about
unrecovers,
misses,
what
then?
would we be up to then?
No, they don't count as part of the total.
4 for
Oh,
me.
they're dead
Yeah.
somewhere.
Oh, we got 2
Yeah,
misses.
yeah, we just don't count 'em.
If you count per bullet, actually.
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
it.
So what? So are we talking each individual bullet per miss?
Oh
or,
yeah, we're like a 90.
Yeah.
Well, see, look,
One
I can
ratio.
I can put a lot of bullets down there. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's 2.
No, I missed
sometimes
2
Pierre rarely
coyotes.
racked the numbers up with his last shooting thing.
Yeah.
yeah, you
That
threw
was
us over the top.
bad. That was bad.
You're
yeah.
welcome, Horgany. We're here for you.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, I dumped a half a box the other day.
Yeah,
That
like
was not
after you
fun.
fired the first time, and I'm like, what? It's running. What? What?
Yeah.
You got blanks in that thing?
Yeah.
And your gun, when it pings, it's like,
Yeah.
ping,
Oh yeah, it's the best.
ping, ping, ping. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, like I said, if you slow it down, they were all except for that. The only one I think would have been a miss was that one as it was dipping behind the hill. That one shot was just a touch
Yeah.
reacted late.
Yeah, but it could have, yeah.
I think all the rest.
But
of
he
them
was
were
down
on there
because
though.
of the contour of the ground, that kind of thing.
I mean, you slow the thing down. The crosshair is like an inch into the snow. But who knows though? Because I think the gun's off honestly. Because there's no way. You know what I mean? There's no way
We went through that. Whose was loose? His was tilted.
Mine,
Yeah.
we put mine in the vise, and he goes to me, he's like, dude, what's wrong with your scope? And I'm like, what do you mean?
You know how the pulsar
Wiggle,
buttons
wiggle.
I
are...
sat there, you know, the
Oh.
actual mount
Yeah.
has got a bubble level in it, and I
He says
step
it's
back
level.
and I look at it, I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah. I'm like, you're a carpenter? This fucking thing is like, whoop. Like,
Clamps,
the, you
like
know,
the turret.
yeah, the turret,
Yeah,
you
the
could see
turrets.
it.
Yeah.
Like, when you look down it,
The
it was like,
turrets are
wah, you know?
Yeah, I still don't
You know they have
because-
torque specs, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah.
Three Ugga-Duggas.
That's it.
Three.
Three.
What, half-inch impact? Like Ugga Dugga?
No, we're talking.
I mean, we call it German torque specs, like Guten tight.
Good.
So it's like, I guess maybe the smaller measurements.
Yeah.
So instead of Ugga Dugga, he'd be like 3.
Three. So
that
are
sounds
like
too tight.
are inch pounds.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
Newton meters.
Newton meters.
Because the scopes are probably made somewhere where they use Newton.
I just tighten them until the bolt snaps. I mean, there's 6 of them in each
You
one,
got,
so
yeah,
fuck
when all of a sudden it gets a little looser.
Yeah,
That's when you.
that's
stop.
when you
So,
know.
no,
That's
that's why you strip them out. It's like theft
Right.
protection.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They aren't getting
Yeah,
them
when I see you
off.
steal my scope, you can't get the fucking screws out.
It's like,
That's a good idea.
We call them
one of the
tearaway
ones I brought
scopes.
here to,
Tearaways.
We
I
call
came
them
here to
tearaway
change the
scopes.
scope or something. I ended up going home and literally drilling the heads off them.
So his was off a little.
Just
We
torque
fixed
them
that.
down. Just torque them down.
The new AGM, we had a hell of a time sighting that fucking
Yeah,
thing.
that was
I
my
don't know
fault.
why.
That was my fault.
A box of bullets later, we got it.
Well, I think what happened with mine is, so I shot that one coyote.
You didn't
and
do
then,
no software updates or nothing, right?
Well, I did all that stuff, but I was like, I remember at one point I got home and I was like turning on the Wi-Fi and like going through the settings and shit like that, and I pushed the button like a few times,
Yeah.
maybe rolled the little dial. I think I rolled the dial or something
You
a
went
couple
to a
times, and
different
I'm like,
profile.
why is nothing moving? And I looked in the right side of the screen, and I'm like, the gun zero was moving, and I was like, ah, shit.
Oh,
I
And you
think
try
that
to
was
remember
on
your
there. Yeah,
numbers.
I was like,
Remember
I
which
think
one
it
Go
was
was on
back
that
to
one.
that.
So I put it back, and I hadn't shot it since then because I was like, I'm pretty sure it was.
well,
on
that makes
one.
perfect
Yeah.
sense, Pierre.
Yeah. So my bad on that one, but yeah.
More
didn't-
technical
Right.
difficulties.
I didn't think about
It-
it when you invited me out for the
shit
night. And I
happens.
was like, yeah, I can go grab the gun, and I was like, oh, you know what?
So I
Yeah,
like that new scope.
It's nice. I do like it a
Is it?
lot.
Yeah, you got to look at AGM. It's nice.
Is
Super clear.
it's very nice.
Like,
What's
we need
that,
an
that,
excuse to buy
the-
more shit.
I know.
What's that one called there? The
4K.
The Spectrum 4K,
Yeah.
the LRF.
I mean, I have three of those C50s, so I'm all right with those. But I think I'll
And they discontinued them, didn't they?
Man,
Yeah,
are
they're
you
done.
putting Jeremy or JP's kids through college?
I am. I'm working on it anyway. Yeah, you're welcome.
Every
JP,
time
by
I
the
see
way.
something,
There's JP.
every time I see him
Did
post
he just
something for
join?
sale,
Right after the comment we made
yeah,
about him.
we were just talking about you. It's your
Yeah,
turn.
rewind that for a second.
What did he post? Something?
If you have any Wraith mini thermals or any mini thermals that are cheaper, I'll take one of those.
Yeah, Pierre's shopping tonight. So. You all have exchanged Venmos at this point.
I need a thermal. I need another thermal because only
you just
thermal
like-
scope I have is the Wraith mini
Yeah.
mini thermal, which is awesome. But I want that back on my 22.
Says now you're just funding his next purchases.
Oh,
Well, he's like,
anything we can
F
do.
them kids.
Yeah, anything we can do to support the PA guys. Yeah.
It's fresh out of C50s. I don't
Oh,
know. He says fresh out of something.
fresh out of Foxes.
Well, yeah, no more foxes.
Oh man.
Which
Yeah.
them fucking things, they have a calendar. Like Jeremy said, made a post on Facebook about it. He had a picture of his bait pile. Fox.
I think all of us had posted trail cam pictures the day after
Season.
Fox ended.
Fox. I had one here every night.
Fox.
I had 2 on my bait pile.
Had one here every night. And then we got that Bobcat, which I really should put that picture on the Facebook page.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mr.
On the
Rush is here.
on the 360 camera.
That
He
was pretty cool.
literally is like, I don't know.
Must have been standing on his
Was-
hind legs.
yeah,
looking
like-
into the camera.
his face was right in it.
On it. Well, I mean, you think about it. No, I mean, a
It's
bobcat
around.
stands pretty tall. I mean,
Yeah.
how far down did you pound the stake?
It's not pounded in. It's on a round piece of firewood that's probably.
Oh right. Oh okay.
And I
yeah,
drilled a
'cause they
hole
drilled
in
a
it,
hole, like I said.
and
yeah,
I
yeah.
just stuffed it in there.
Yeah,
That
so if
way-
it's just an 18-inch log, that cat's just looking straight in it, but probably leaning a little bit. But there's like
Well,
there's
we're
an
s-
eye, there's like a half a
yeah,
thing. That's
we're
like-
sitting here the other night, camera starts
Awesome.
going off, so I'm like, put the camel PJs on, make sure I'm good to go, and I pull the cameras up, and you're like, and I'm like, yep, look at that, and he's literally like right in the.
Yeah. We stayed there for like an hour, literally sniffing the
He was,
camera.
yeah.
You know what it
Been
is?
here every
Because it's a 360, that camera goes bzz, bzz,
Yep.
bzz, 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 and I think that little bit of noise and
He
stuff,
hears
there's
it.
like a mouse or something in that log, and he's trying to
When
figure
I
it out.
came home with the kids at, I don't know, 8 o'clock, he was on the bait pile.
Was
chewing
he?
away.
He was there for like a fucking hour, dude.
Chewing away. Nice big bow. What do we got?
Rocco.
Tony.
Howdy, boys.
There's no, yes. So down, there's no season or limitations.
In South Carolina.
Yes. Down South Tony land.
Down South Tony.
Down
So,
South Tony.
no, because we were talking about it. He was like, the more I listen to these podcasts, maybe I want to do this.
Sorry.
And I'm like,
Oh,
if
boy.
I had a nickel for every time I heard that.
Yeah.
But like,
Tony must have like 10 grand just burning a hole in his.
well, that's why I said, if you want to be up all night and lose a shit ton of money, that
Losing sleep, losing
Yeah.
money, losing
Yeah.
coyotes.
Right.
Yeah, it's a great time,
it's
dude.
a great time.
It's
It's
a
super
great
fun.
fucking
But
time.
I was like, think about it, the one predator south.
Yeah.
And just let him. It's like a whole nother chapter.
Well, I guess I ought to buy a
Because
fuel
Travis
efficient
is down there.
car.
In Wagner.
Yeah, oh yeah.
They're like near each other. Travi got like 30 acres to hunt or something down there, and he shot a coyote down there. When the hell was it? November or something? He put a post on Facebook. It was a big dog.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, don't even start doing that shit, man. It's fucking bad.
My uncle and my cousin were just texting me about all that stuff. He's like, hey, what gear do you guys? Send me your coyote hunting list. I'm
You
like,
don't want the
I'm like,
list.
don't do it.
You don't want
want
to.
to.
Of course, I sent a couple things, and they were like, God damn.
Right.
I was like, yeah, well,
Right.
we play for keeps.
Yeah.
We play for keeps.
I only need one
Yeah, you
rifle.
guys- yeah, you
I
want-
have 3,
Yeah.
but
You want to do it for fun, there's fun options, but we out here playing
Yeah.
for keeps, like I said.
well then like everybody who ever asks me, like, oh, what do you got? What's it cost? And I'm like, man, it's like I relate it a lot to farming
Yeah.
because you think looking at it, you're like, maybe I want to do this. Maybe it could be fun, right? Could be fun. And then, yeah, right. And then, how much could it really cost? Yeah, he knows.
Well-
how much could it really cost? Well, then,
Well,
it's
depends.
Sunday and shit blows apart all over the place. And you're like, why the fuck am I out here?
Meanwhile, your profit's laying in the field.
Yeah,
needs to
and
be
it's about
picked
to
up.
rain. Like, why am I out here? I could have a camper or a fucking boat.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the chicken situation.
Yeah,
We're like,
right.
oh, it must be nice to have free eggs. Like, you think those eggs are free?
Free.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they ain't free,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah,
Well,
okay.
as far as getting into it, you could go. I don't know. You probably get into it for under $1,000, just
Yeah.
under $1,000.
What,
Wraith-
coyote hunt or farming?
Wraith
Coyote
and-
hunt. You ain't getting into farming
Yeah.
for $1,000.
Now,
No,
Wraith,
coyote hunt.
Wraith and a little,
You get a
you know,
lower.
like a
Start
sav-
where everybody else
savage-
started, a red
Yo,
light.
Dude, we started with the red lights.
Well, okay, so a red light and a day scope.
$18.
yeah. On a savage
Amazon.
accent.
and then, and then you
Okay,
get on,
so
And a Tesco.
a few $100 for a rifle, $50 for a scope, $20 for a light from Amazon. You're hunting.
yeah.
Well,
Well,
tr-
you could call her, but hey, I know a guy. If you
Yeah.
wanted to get used to hand calls.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, if you
Tag
need
him in there.
calls,
yeah.
Rush Custom Colors.
Not that they're the cheapest
.com.
by any means, but
The,
You know,
the quality.
it's better
it's-
than a-
you're paying for the quality.
$400.
Well, I mean, so I have other hand
electronic call,
calls.
$800.
They're all plastic. They're just not handmade. It's just different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
We went to what was the name of the show we went to?
Yeah, Adirondack sportsman,
We met Jeremy
outdoorsman.
from New York Coyote Hunters. I think I got his. Yeah, right here. Firearms training. He listens to us, watches us.
And he
Probably
probably figured he needs some
Yeah,
training.
your brother's here too.
my brother.
Oh, yeah, there you
Oh boy, yeah. Now
Oh,
it's a
look,
party.
another junior.
Yeah, we need more juniors. So
Okay, we have a serious question.
we have a serious question.
Yeah.
Colby.
Oh, it's Colby. Is that Brian's Colby?
So more vocals or distress? Well, the distress hasn't done shit for us all season, so we're definitely vocals.
It's
Oh.
been weird.
Howls and fights. Howls and fights. Chirps.
Mm-hmm.
Barking.
Barking.
Mating
A lot of
stuff should be
Yeah,
working
barks.
pretty soon.
Yeah, but those, like, Brian, I don't know if you know this or not, vape pile camera went off one night, I go out there, right? And I'm pajamas, set up.
pajamas.
Always pajamas. You gotta shoot coyotes in your pajamas. I set up, and the dog is gone, right? So I'm looked down there, I don't see nothing. All of a sudden, I hear this chirp.
Oh yeah.
Like, and the only reason I knew what it was is because when Brian came, he did it with his hand call, and then we talked about it, and then I heard one fucking do it, which was the coolest thing. It's like hearing a deer grunt for the first time.
Right,
You know what I mean?
Or
It's like,
snore wheeze, yeah.
it's
Something you
something
don't really
that
hear.
you know that they do, but you might not hear, like, or a bobcat
Yeah.
crying. You know, it sounds like a baby or whatever. So this thing's chirping down below the bait pile, and I just sat there and listened to it. And when it came back out, it ended up getting shot. But so yeah,
When I came back
sorry.
yeah.
The chirps, man, and chirps. So if you have an e-collar, chirps are in your breeding sounds, but not, like Brian says, not necessarily all breeding. It's like a comeback.
Yeah,
So if there's two and they separate, they will chirp at each other
Gotcha.
to bring them back. So yeah,
Brian got 2 last night. With
yeah,
the
we
chirps.
know you did. We saw that. Thanks.
Tally ho!
Yeah. So Mr.
What
Ryan
the
Rush
hell?
starts sending videos, and I'm like, I was upstairs laying in bed watching a show with the wife, and I'm like, well, I guess I got to put my fucking boots on, and I went out hunting, of course. So I go behind the farm, and I walk out where we always stand by the cow pasture. I set up, wind was crossed, and actually a good cross. So if they came from where me and you shot those two, they wouldn't be behind the brush line if they came in downwind. So it was perfect. So I'm sitting there, and I look back towards my cows, and I see something running up the fence line that I was like, holy shit, there's a coyote over there right with my cows.
Yeah.
So I spin the rifle around, and I look at it, and it had to be the biggest raccoon I've ever seen in my fucking life.
They're big right now.
Dude,
They're big,
I
big
mean,
right
so, like, I'm watching it, and thank God, because I would have been, I don't want to shoot at my cows, but it was right there. You know, I was like, it's like a crack. And I was like,
Calling the butcher. Hey, I got one down
well, here's
for
the
you.
thing. They're my fucking cows.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I mean, if I shoot one, we'll just, everybody will have steak. You know what I mean? It's not really a big deal. So, I would never shoot one of my cows.
I think the
But-
for sale cooler's getting a little low anyway.
Yeah, so I end up looking again. So that was through my thermal. It looked like a coyote.
Yeah. Yeah, they're huge. man.
It was huge, and like I was standing by a tree stump, and it's like from the way it looked against the tree stump, it sounds like you're taking a leak over there.
It looks
Just
like it.
pour
from
the
this-
fucking thing.
Try not to pick
He's
it
like
up
under
on-
the way. He's like leaning under the
Try
table.
not to
So
make
anyway.
too much noise.
I look at it through the night vision. It turns out to be a raccoon. What?
Dennis.
Oh,
How
Dennis!
How do I turn on closed captions for when Altimer is talking? Which one?
Which one?
Which one, Dennis?
Come on.
He's all the way back, to be honest. You
Come
just scoop
on.
that chair forwards.
I'm good.
I'm good.
No, I mean he keeps like maxing out the microphone over here. So
Who, me?
no, him.
Yeah, well, that's because Dennis is.
And you
gonna
told
say-
me not to get
he's
too
gonna
close.
mute me. Thanks, Dennis.
Mute you.
Good to keep him.
That
slid
way
back
he
a
can
little.
just read it.
Oh,
That's why he wants us to come on, guys. Get with the program.
closed captions. I don't know how to do that.
I'm
I feel
sorry,
like there's
Dennis,
some
if
of
I'm
them
loud.
like already do like closed caption thing.
In
like
between
auto-
calling
This
sequences
is
during your
sets.
That, I don't care what anybody says, you cannot put a time on that. You might go, like Brian would, so if you start out with a howl, and you, whatever,
Well, they say they want to know how much time to wait.
Yeah,
between,
like- Okay, yeah,
between
yeah.
sequences. Now, like, Brian would say, like, you would howl, wait for a response, or like invitation howls, you can keep doing it. If you
Yeah.
don't get I don't think there's a wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody makes it like these things are so intelligent, they're going to be like, oh my God,
Well, think.
did that guy just howl again?
Well, I mean,
That can't be a coyote. You know what I mean?
Think when you're sitting there in the field and all of a sudden you hear an airplane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, oh, I just heard that. It was
Right.
just it kept getting closer. So if
Right.
that coyote's just blind walking through the woods and trotting, it's making a little bit of noise. Like, how close does it have to get before it actually hears a sound?
Right.
You could have waited 1 minute. You could have waited 20 minutes. You could have not waited at all.
We've
and you
had
just
them
heard it
come-
all of a sudden.
My rule of thumb is when you put the gun back in the truck, that's when they show up.
Double check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Put the
never
gun in,
fails.
double check with a thermal.
Or CJ
Get
on
back
the-
out and load it. And then zip it
CJ
back.
on the last cigarette,
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh, we'll just wait." And next thing you know, Josh is like, "Yo, inbound."
Yeah.
Light up one of those scent
Inbound.
sticks.
Yo,
Scent sticks. Always bring them in. So, I mean, I don't think there's a... I think a lot of people put
Oh,
too much thought
man.
into it.
I mean, it depends where you are too, though. Because think about what we were talking about at one point on one of the other podcasts, like how many coyotes are around too. You know?
Yeah, right.
Is there super competition for food?
Right.
Probably don't wait at all.
Right.
If there's a lot of competition for food,
We'll do
you know,
howls. We'll do howls with prey distress running. That worked for us. We've done fights. So, okay, get outside the box a little bit, turn your e-collar on, pick up a rabbit call, put a fight on, and do a rabbit while your fight is going. That
Yes.
worked for us. Worked for down at your farm.
The old trusty Pee Wee loco.
Yeah, well, no, he brought his e-collar that night, and he's like, well, I'll call tonight. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
whatever. And I love to be the guy that just gets to stand there and not have to think.
yeah.
So I'm standing there, he's running e-collar, and I have my hand calls on me. So he does a fight. Well, I'm like, okay. We didn't talk about this.
Yeah.
Like, I just picked my rabbit call up, and I started squeaking. I'm
End
like,
of last season.
yeah, and what, it was like 5-10 minutes later, fucking dog shows up.
yeah.
And he goes, that was such a great idea. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll do the same thing to him. Like,
Dog
if he's
showed
eating
up,
home,
Just made it up.
Fallujah went down, and the dog just kept going.
yeah. Oh, God, we shot that one quite a bit.
Well,
There was 3 of us.
There was 3 of us. The guy on the right might have been rushed a little bit.
Yeah.
And
happens.
after he squeezed that trigger
dog
for the
remembered
first
us,
time,
though.
and that dog started circling out in front of us, I was, you know?
I was waiting, dude.
And as soon as it got in his sector,
I
towards his
was
sector,
waiting.
it was the both of us, man. It was,
Yeah. Me and him were... Steve had stopped shooting at this point. It's just me and Chippy. What? We ain't stopped. If we can see this fucking thing,
man,
Sending them.
stopping.
You are
man,
sending
I'm
them.
picking crosshairs up.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even know what the range
Just
is
like, all right, we're
anymore.
going one notch up, one notch right, one notch
There
right.
was splashes out in the river I could see.
I'm
You
pretty-
know, it was.
I'm fairly
my
certain
God.
that fucking coyote swam the Hudson that night. Because
Oh,
he
the
would...
one down.
No,
weren't with
no,
us.
no,
This was
no,
a
no.
different
night.
This
Oh,
was
okay.
another. It was a lot like that one, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the guy on the left fires Steve. He missed it. Dog starts running. Well, he starts running my way, and I'm like, oh, yeah, baby. Chip's in the middle. So he's shooting at it. Well, as soon as he got in my lane, man, I was like, okay, my turn, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude. And I had the bolt gun that night. And that thing swam the river.
All right. Dylan has a bit of a loaded question.
Oh, boy.
He said he's just getting into coyote hunting and wondering what your thoughts on which night vision scope to get.
Well, what's the budget?
Yeah.
What's the budget?
How much money can you...
How far are you shooting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What caliber are you shooting?
Just go with thermal. Buy once, cry once.
Oh,
No.
If you're getting, you're not sure.
Don't listen to
We
him.
started out... We've talked about this before. We had Sight Mark Wraith.
The Wraith.
They were great scopes. They hated the cold.
Yep.
You had to get, we made socks for them, and I would shove hand warmers in them, and they would work fine. Put battery packs on them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let them run all night. They
Just
would work
left
fine.
them on, yeah.
We talk about this a million times, but like when me and him, when we first got those and we looked through them, when we went out that night, it was like a whole new fucking world.
best thing ever.
Dude,
Oh, yeah.
I was like, dude, how did we hunt before?
Yeah.
And the screen
Then
in a Wraith is like
Then,
fucking tiny.
Then you
It's
buy
like the size
something
of a
newer
nickel.
and better, and you're like, how the hell do we hunt with those wraiths?
Well,
Right.
I was hunting with a Wraith when he got the first C50.
I
Yeah.
got the
Well,
first
he got the
C50.
first one.
Yeah.
And I looked through it and I was like, I gotta have one of these.
Yeah, yeah,
Then
that's
Josh
what it is.
bought one and we were out that night and I was like, oh, let me take a look. You know what I mean? So I get behind it and I'm like, oh,
But
done.
chink, there goes the
Yeah,
money.
Done. So I mean, it depends on your money.
Yeah, your budget, how far you need to see, because then you also have to factor in a light,
light.
an external light.
Your caliber, your gun too. I mean, you're gonna put a tiny little short distance scope on a big ass caliber.
Yeah,
6.5
right.
that'll go 1,000 yards. I mean, you want something that'll see 1,000 yards. Not that I mean, takes a
C50
bit,
for me, I mean, all the way is my number one. Either that or the 4K.
The
I
Spectre
love
we were
it.
talking about
The,
earlier.
the
Yeah.
AGS
And I know-
Spectrum
There's a few of them
4K.
that are pretty good.
And I have the DNT, and Jason from Sniper Hog, he's got the thermal night vision one. He's been
Yeah, the
doing a lot of
combo.
videos on.
They're what they
I
sell,
like
what-
my DNT.
They're starting what, like two
Yeah.
to 2,500. You can get a thermal night vision combo. I think that's the
night vision's
Is
my-
that 256 or 384?
It's you can get them 384 to 640.
Yeah, they do have a
both.
640. It was like 3,500 or something like
I
that.
thought they had a 256.
They do. I think it was like $1,500 or something like that.
If they
So I mean, there's options.
the straight night vision one with the Sniper Hog
It's
kit,
an awesome concept, though.
right?
Oh yeah,
Where you
thermal
could
night
have your
vision.
like as long as you
Absolutely.
don't mind being bent over your gun, scanning with it with the thermal on
Can you
one
do-
screen.
Can you do
and-
live feed to your phone?
Yes, it pairs to your phone. Yes.
I mean, the best thing you can do is
So you
figure
could
out
do
what's
it
in your
that way,
price
too.
range and then go on YouTube and search all the reviews.
The other
on
thing
it,
is,
get the
though,
videos on it and see
the
what everybody else says
videos
too.
on the scopes on YouTube though, don't ever do them justice. Do you know what I mean?
Well, if it looks good on YouTube and it gets even
It's
better
gonna look
in
better.
person, right? If
Yeah.
you're already like, dude, $500 for a Wraith, I'd do that.
Uh-oh, these two are picking on me.
Who's that?
No, I don't think so. They're just talking to each other.
Oh,
JP and Dennis.
Oh,
hey Dennis, we got cushions for the seats now, man. So you
oh man.
I talk to
felt
Brian
so
all
bad.
the time, and I'm like, have you talked to Dennis? I think he hates me because I made him sit on a steel fucking chair.
That last time I recorded with you guys, and I started. Well, it wasn't live, so nobody could see it, and I was up kind of pacing around.
Yeah,
The chair was so freaking hard.
yeah. I got a better chair for you, Dennis. You can come back now.
You can go
I just figured he'd never come back. Like, that was a long fucking podcast.
It was almost 3 hours.
and we
like
didn't.
3 hours.
Yeah, and we didn't know. Like, we didn't plan on pausing it. So I had to piss the whole time. And I was like, oh my god.
I just got up and went. I was like, well, you guys can
Be
do
right
it.
back.
Whatever. I gotta go. I'm going.
Right.
Ah, man.
It always comes
I
back
mean, you
to
can
something.
just try and pee before you sit down, old man.
Yeah, well,
And get all the rest of it out of there. Yeah.
Doesn't help.
apple juice.
Apple juice, yeah. That coffee didn't
Cider.
seem too hot the way
Can't
you
be
were
apple
judging.
juice.
Iced coffee.
It's iced coffee.
Forgot the ice.
I had ice. It's just
Oh, it
tea
melted
is
the
his
cool
coffee.
coffee off.
it's hot in here.
Yeah.
It is warm, actually. Even with the window open.
Wood boiler's actually doing it.
It's not bad for homemade.
You sure it's not the coffee doing it?
Yeah, it could be the coffee.
41 degrees outside.
I turned it down. I had it up on 75 before you guys got it.
What was that Britney Spears song, by the way?
Oh.
You
Oh
know,
my
you know what the
God.
fuck I'm talking about.
Wait.
Oh,
way off
we didn't-
topic.
No, we didn't
No,
tell
it's
this
not.
story
We didn't
because
even tell
we didn't
the
tell this
story.
story
It's
because
not
you
off
weren't
topic.
here.
It's not off topic, but I
Um,
wanted to remember the
Hit me,
story
baby, one
because
more time. Go with it.
Hit me, baby, one more
We go to one of our stands, set up. Pierre, Josh is on the left. I'm in the middle. Pierre's on the right. We get set up, and all of a sudden we hear Pierre goes,
I said, nobody else could hear that?
"You guys
music?
hear that music?" And I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Well, then there's houses right behind us.
So maybe
and-
they're partying.
Yeah, so I was like, maybe it's a house. So then I pulled my headphones off my head, and I'm like, no, I can't hear it. So I put my headphones back on, and I lean away from my gun, and all of a sudden I can't hear it. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? So I'm like, just, because you're standing. So you're rocking from one foot to the next, and then all of a sudden I hear it again, and it's loud as shit. I'm like, what the? Dang, someone needs to chill out with the volume. At least if we're going to listen to music, let's listen to that at a same volume. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, really? No one hears that Britney Spears right now?
Yeah.
And CJ mumbled something, and I was like, all right, whatever. Maybe it's just me. So we're sitting there for a little while.
I even pulled my ear off. And I'm like listening around. Like I don't hear anything.
We're sitting there for a little bit longer, and then finally we were like, all right, well, let's leave. So I just leaned down into my gun, and it gets really loud. And I went, what? Leaned away, I got quiet. Leaned back into my gun, it was super loud again. I was like, is my scope playing Britney Spears? Hit me, baby, one more time. I'm like, guys, come here. come here and check this out.
Oh my god.
So coincidentally
I
enough,
figured he was high or something.
we were next, we were
No.
next to a radio station, and I don't know if it was the scope or something picking up the frequency. And when I got close to the gun, it would turn the volume up because every time you put your cheek on the gun, it was crazy loud. And
So
you know,
he
it
if
was
we
like,
shot something, he could have shot something to Britney Spears.
literally, yeah, dude, it was so. I didn't think to hit the record thing, but it was like louder and quieter.
So
and
we
and
both listened
so I was
to
like,
it.
Check this out, dude. Put these phones. They're like, we thought
Then
you were
all of a
crazy,
sudden,
bro.
the three of you guys break out into what is that?
Well,
where
it
everybody
changed
in the-
songs. What did it
everybody
change
in
to?
the
What
police
was
station
the song
went
after?
and
It was,
Drops of Jupiter.
Drops of Jupiter. Yeah.
Because
That's what I heard.
Josh leans in and starts singing it.
So we get back to the truck, and I was like, "Oh, what's the station? Oh yeah, that's right." And I fucking tuned the
Yeah.
truck in. It's that song.
It was funny.
What's wrong? Mike?
You're not really picking up.
Baby. Now you know what I'm gonna do.
Dennis said I'm being too loud.
Or-
when I hit a
No, you.
when I hit a coyote. When I hit a coyote,
Steve's here.
I'll
Yeah,
start
Steve's
singing,
here.
Hit me, baby, one more time. We shoot a coyote.
Yeah.
We should put that to the background song of that one I shot at 5 times.
That is a great idea. I don't have my phone. I can't
I'll
do it right now.
100% post that.
fucking
Did I send it to you?
Cape Cod.
I sent it to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can post that and put some like sad song about missing or something.
Ting,
Or
ting.
maybe one more time.
Tony, that is not kid approved apple juice.
Is he want some?
So let's see, we got what caliber would you recommend for hunting predators in the Northeast? So that's another
223.
that's another
243.
another loaded question.
223.
Yeah.
Well,
'Cause
listen
you got-
to these guys.
243, 243, 223,
223.
223, 22 250, all good calibers.
Yeah.
6.5 Creedmoor.
6. Yeah, like it depends on how
Right.
accurate you are. It depends.
There was only
again.
one guy that we hunted with that, and I don't think he ever hit anything.
Who was that?
Yeah, he's here.
Yeah. I'm not
No,
gonna
I don't
say.
know if he shot a dog with the 6.5. He might have.
It kind of seemed overkill, but
It was a pretty
You-
good
I mean, if you're
it
not
was,
trying
was
to
it
save,
that,
was a super nice.
that
if
French
you're-
one.
But back to the question though, like if you're not trying to save pelts, I mean 6.5's fine. Buy a 6.5.
Okay, so
Do you want to like hit him in the toenail and still kill him? Are you a
Right.
marksman? Can you hit him in the chest
I-
if you can center mass
I got
him?
one this year
Are your
with
shots-
06, man.
I mean, are your shots 500 yards or are they 100 inside? Everything's inside of 100. You know, you don't need anything
real
more than
simple.
22 for that
bear
matter.
at 50. That way, if it just gets near them, they vaporize.
That's it. Yeah, you
That's
don't even
it.
have
I
to
mean,
hit 'em
I hit him with
within
that
a foot.
180 grain there, and it saved a fur girl a lot of time. That's pretty much
Skin.
Yeah.
first thing out of Josh's mouth. He's like, "Dude, what are you doing?" He's like, "You're destroying these things." I'm like,
That was
Well, I
during
mean,
deer season.
243, baby.
I'm not gonna carry 2 guns with me when I'm deer hunting.
So listen, if you're deer hunting and you see a coyote, it becomes a coyote hunt. That's just the way it
Well,
is.
that's it. I mean, Rusty said it, and that's pretty much how it went down.
I have a hard time letting them go with a deer rifle, but sometimes I do.
Never let one ever.
243 is the
fucking go.
best.
No, I'm looking at the one above that.
Oh,
Who's over here?
oh,
243 is the
Jeremy.
best? Is there a way 243 is the best? Is there a way to like kick people off the?
He'll show up here and
kidding,
take. He might take you out of here tonight.
Just kidding. You know I love you.
Yeah, just kidding. If there's lights outside my door, you're going out there.
He's gonna wait for me to leave. I'm in a red Toyota, or not Toyota, a red Ford today.
Mechanics on the floor.
Jeremy.
Cigs in the pants.
So Jeremy drives up here to go hunt with us. We didn't see a fucking thing, but it was funny as hell. We walk in and what we were doing? Put a sling on my gun. Put the new
Yep,
slings on.
put the new sling on.
I was
Stalker
like-
sling.
I ended up having a drink, and he smelled it. And he was like, "Is that fucking Jaeger?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
No, it's iced tea. Look at it.
I'm like, "Nah, it's coffee." And he's like, "I ain't coffee."
That's not good.
He says he's on his way.
No, he'll be out front, Steve.
He just wants to pop in on the podcast, I think.
Working, but
No.
anyway, 243 is not the best.
It is.
Fake news.
You know, you're a caliber snob, I guess.
Well,
and
I mean,
that's what you shoot,
listen, it doesn't really matter.
It's what do we always say though? It's shot placement.
Yeah, we had
shot
runners with him.
It'll always be shot placement.
It'll always be
Always.
shot placement.
But then the other factors are what we were talking about: distance. If you're good at shooting,
ammo
things like
availability.
yeah, availability. Like a few years ago, you couldn't get 223 anywhere.
No,
Anywhere.
no.
And if you
I
found
will-
it was 77 grain Winchester
FMJ.
hollow point.
And
I don't
if-
even know. I have boxes of it I never even shot.
That's all.
I used FMJ in the beginning. I had no idea this was the OG with a red light on it. And I shot 2 or 3 coyotes behind the farm and hit them, knocked them over, and they just...
Kept on well, because it's just hole punching.
Yeah.
There's
all I
no
did.
expansion in there.
And there was
It's
like
got no
blood and
devastation.
everything. And then
Yeah,
I
they're
don't
gone.
know. I think it was rusty.
You got a head on him.
He's like, what are you using for bullets? And I'm like, I show him, and he goes, they're FMJs.
like, the
Dude.
fuck
It's
is
like a fucking needle going through.
Plug in the computer.
Yeah.
What happened?
Golly.
Computer Stein, who else we got on here?
What else we got on here?
That's it. Any more questions? I would buy a 223. Best caliber ever made.
If you're
243.
if you're setting something up for coyotes, 223 is nice. You have a ton of powder. The bullets are easy to get. They shoot.
What do you
really
have?
well.
You know, maybe somebody already has a 243 for deer hunting.
Yeah,
I mean,
there
well,
you
that's what
go.
I'm saying. But if he's asking if he's setting
Not like
up a
putting a
rifle
night
for
vision
coyotes,
Scope on a deer hunting
I
gun.
mean, you shot. What's your? What
308.
What'd you shoot with your? What was the longest one? 450 something.
452.
Yeah, with a 223.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I didn't
And
believe it.
stoned him.
Yeah, Pierre's
Well,
like,
I said, "Oh shit, dude, that thing just hunched. You hit him." He said, "No fucking way." I said, "Yeah, wait for it. Wait for it. There it is."
yeah.
Boom.
I didn't even believe I hit that fucking thing.
That was an accident.
I remember that. I remember
It died
seeing,
of a heart attack.
I remember seeing that spine just hunch up, and I went, "Oh my god."
He's standing there with his scanner, and he goes, "If you're gonna do it, now's the time." And I just went like up here,
He stopped.
and it's like going away like this, right?
He
And
stopped one more time before the woods, and I was like, "This is it." We had him at fucking 80,
Yeah,
and he's boop 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 boop.
yeah.
Every
We
time
blew
he
in a rabbit
paused, I'm
call.
like, "Go, go,
Yeah.
go."
I blew in a rabbit
Oh.
call, and he turned around and ran the other way.
CJ was
That's what
like,
happened.
we're going for long distance this time.
Yeah, and then he's like, "If you're gonna do it now." And I fired, and that thing he took like 3 steps, and then just boated. Just,
Yeah.
and then once night vision, you can't see that.
Yeah.
And he's laughing, and he's like, "You stoned him." I'm like, "No, I didn't." He goes, "Look," and I took his scanner, and I'm
You
looking
see
like,
the flat spot. in the
yeah, he's just laying out there. I'm like, "Holy shit, look at
I
that."
wish I recorded it. I remember him like hunching, and then it was like maybe 4 big bounds,
Yeah,
and that trip step.
yep. And then we get out there, and I ranged the tripods because I left them set up.
It was right next to the tree.
Yeah.
It was easy enough to.
It's
Anyway.
JP. It's the last Sunday in March. Is the end of our season.
And then we're coming to you.
Yep.
We're in April. Right?
Dang, they hunt till April out there.
They hunt year round.
Year round.
Oh, and PA is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Coyotes year round.
Oh, I don't realize.
We're
that
Welcome
was
to
it.
the Vampire State.
Let's go.
Yeah.
April.
No, I got a week off in April, so
Is that we go off in April?
All right.
I'm not saying we're going
Nothing.
there for a week, but whatever. I'm okay.
Maybe Brian will take us to Kansas, and we'll hit that on the way back.
PA's like 4 hours.
On the way back from Pennsylvania.
That's a
Do you know
long-
where Kansas is?
He's like,
Yeah, where they had the Woods
We'll
of
go to
Glass.
Kansas first, and then we'll
Oh,
hit PA on the way back.
okay. I'm like, you
Don't
can't.
treat me like I don't know geography.
if we have to drive through Ohio, we could probably stop and see Ty on the way.
All right, that's it.
He
Trips
always-
made. Here we
yeah.
go.
So we
Just
could
steal the
probably
camper
we got a ton of fields too because he's my archery deer hunting guy. He's only got like 80 properties.
So we're
When you
making a
go
week.
out there deer hunting, do you take your rifle? You don't take your
No,
rifle?
no, it's all archery stuff. I tried to get him to take. I was like, "What are we doing? Coyote hunting?" He said, "You need to kill a deer first." I'm like, "Oh, you need to focus." I'm like, "I just want to go kill something."
Right.
He's
So
like,
you
"Relax."
deer hunt during the day and
Yeah.
shoot coyotes at night.
He wouldn't let me. He said, "Just kill a deer first." He said, "We'll go do all coyote hunting you want." But
What?
Tons of fields. That's what those guys do. They love doing it.
Where did you hear that, Jeremy?
How does Jeremy always
I know.
know these New York rules?
Right,
Every
PA
time
guy knows
something
New York
comes up-
stuff.
What was it?
she's not gonna extend. You're lying.
She's taking everything away. She ain't gonna give us more.
You need to read them out loud, though, so everybody else knows what you guys are hooting about.
It
So-
says, Jeremy says that the governor
Horseface.
is going to extend the
Kathy.
New York Predator seasons.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Extend them? Pretty sure she was trying to get them.
Meanwhile, in
Get
Clifton
rid of
Park, there's old men getting attacked by coyotes, and
Yeah.
well, you guys can't shoot them up there.
Let's give us. What was so I commented on that on CBS 6,
I saw.
and then Jeremy from up there. He's like,
I-
"You boys stay south of all."
Yeah, he doesn't want us up there.
We go to that show
I saw that
last
comment.
weekend, and we walk, and I see him standing there. His booth. I walk up to him, going like this. I'm like, "We made it past Albany," and because he never seen me, any of us before, but he saw the shirt,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
and he was like, and I was like, "We made it!"
Yeah. And the trunk's full of fucking...
Rifles.
Oh, man. Give me the way to do it.
My wife's actually, he does firearms training,
Oh, yeah.
pistol training.
Nice.
So they do like a course.
New York State stuff?
No, like you go up there and shoot. They teach you how to shoot, and they have reactive targets and all kinds of
Pistol
shit.
classes. Yeah, advanced. Yeah, I didn't know if they did any like out of state, like non-resident classes. Like I've got Utah and Arizona and Connecticut and Massachusetts and all that shit.
No,
So there's
don't
like I
wanna
didn't
go.
know if that was part of what he was doing.
I ended up taking the wife to the show because she holds all the credit cards, so I can't. So I
Just sneak one out.
Can't
Of
Well, I
buy a
brought-
six.
I
Can't
brought
buy
it.
a $600 Savage
almost
2506.
bought a gun.
Oh man, he
This
was.
close.
But
He,
the-
I held it
called
3
me up
times.
when he got home, and he had the blues. And then you know what he said?
had
He
the
goes,
blues.
"It's a good thing you weren't there because I know you would have bought it."
there's the other
There's
Jeremy
Jeremy,
right
there's the
there.
other Jeremy.
Stay down there. He
So
says.
I introduced him to my wife, and they got. Thank you, by the way. They got to talking, so my wife's gonna go up there and do the pistol course.
Yeah, my
Nice.
wife's gonna join her.
So, which is I think is great.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. I've got a guy if you guys want to do the out of state stuff too.
I never get to leave the state that much, Pierre.
You
If
should
you
see-
ever do,
You should
get
have
to
seen his
fucking
rubber
take
band
a
while we were
shooter.
driving out to Johnstown.
See what?
His rubber band?
Yeah, he always teases me. We get to the overpass where it changes to a 4-lane.
It is
He's like, "Don't get nervous."
And his rubber band starts to tighten up,
Yeah,
holding back to
exactly.
Columbia County.
Right.
Stretch
I'm like,
that
there's
thing all
way
the way
too
to
many fucking
Johnstown.
lanes, too many lines.
We're all the cornfields.
Right.
I'm having a panic attack. There's no cows out here.
I'm fine on the big road as long as I'm in my dump truck, because I will bounce your fucking ass into the median. I'm great then.
Don't you hate when your cameras go off?
And you're
There's
not
cars
out.
in
We
the
got-
field
we
and
got-
you're not out in the thing.
Your gun's not
Yep,
show you
here
anyway.
we go.
The big field doesn't mean we can't make a run out there. All right, guys, we're going to have to cut it short. Mount.
There's coyotes on Pierre's mountain.
The old mountain.
If you
Top
get
of the
Jeremy
What is the deal with all the skunks, man?
Defense Jeremy says if you get a PA CCW, you can carry in the same states as Utah or Florida.
There's a few you can't. It's Washington's questionable for one of them, and then New Mexico is questionable. So if you have Arizona, you can have New Mexico,
Isn't that
but you can't
fucking
have
weird how they do
Washington.
It just
have
they just need to pass
Utah.
that reciprocity thing where, and New York's probably one of the most strictest states you can get a concealed carry
it's crazy.
permit,
Like,
in.
they let me
Our
carry
law
in New
is
York,
the
bro.
strictest.
and you can't take it anywhere.
Yeah, it just
Like
covers
how-
New York. Yeah.
Well, you can.
Well, certain places you can. They'll recognize New York, but New
Where
York
did we
won't
go?
recognize
I
anywhere
don't.
else.
We went on
You should
vacation
Google that, 'cause
somewhere,
I don't know
and
I don't know who else.
And I totally forgot that I had a.
Shooter on you.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, and
You
I was
should
like,
admit
and then we
stuff
get
like
there, and I'm like, oh fuck.
Oops.
Lock.
Yeah. Even it depends what state you're in, I guess. But most of it, so New York, you have to have it in a locked box and all that shit too, ammo separate and everything. If you're
Okay, case.
traveling.
Yeah, well, he took the
Fireproof, locked, all that case if you're going through certain states.
the pistol course has changed since we did it, Like, he was telling me what they were telling him. I'm like, we ain't go over none of that shit.
Yeah. Well, it was like that.
They were like, this is a revolver, this is a semi. This
It was,
is
what's it, a 2 or 3 hour course?
Yeah,
it was like 2 or 3 hours.
like
You just sat in the classroom.
Holy crap!
Yeah,
I
he
sat
just
there
showed
for
you the different
2
guns and
days.
it
What
was
was
like
it,
3-4
18
hours down here at
hours?
Zero Tolerance. My wife and I did it.
I should have
Yeah.
got it like 20 years ago instead of
Even if
waiting
you
until
did
I'm
it
in my
5 or
40s.
6 years. I don't know. I think
21st
I went
birthday.
5 or 6 years. Yeah.
I went and did it.
I waited forever, but I was always a troublemaking kid, but never got in like real trouble. And everybody's like,
Was?
dude, you'd be fine. I mean, I was like a million speeding tickets and fucking burnouts
Unsafe
and
stops.
shit like that. Wheelie
Wheelies
tickets on my
across
motorcycle.
railroad tracks
Yeah,
with
they-
the cops like right behind us.
Jesus Christ. See, or Chip, he's never going to let that go.
Dude, that was like
Them guys
they're
been
friggin'-
looking for you for years. Now they found
Well,
you.
it's like, it's funny because it's one of those things where it's like, I mean, you know, you go to the court and they're like, oh, look at your record. And I'm like, well, you know, but then I'm
Out
like,
back
you
in
know,
the truck.
what actually counts, you know? And they're like, well, it's pretty much drug and alcohol charges. I'm like, well, shit.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I'm good. I don't have none of that.
Should have asked sooner, yeah. So,
You have drug charges now. It's called coyote hunting.
Well,
it's worse than drugs.
Worse than drugs.
Worse than that. They're on.
It's like Tony says all the time. He
Oh
goes,
my God, I need to go kill a coyote.
when he got into this, he goes, this is worse than drugs. This is like fucking terrible. Which I don't know. Tony's been really sick. He got the plague that I had, where
no.
like that flu, where
Oh, yeah,
I
the-
was in
that
bed for like 3
stomach
fucking
bug
days. No,
version of
there's
the flu?
two. There's 2 of them.
The one was like the stomach one that I
Uh-huh.
heard of. It was
I
like
never
the
got
stomach
that.
flu. Yeah.
But he texted me the other day, and he was like, "Man, Reaper down," and I'm like, "Oh boy."
You're like, wait a minute, that's not how that normally goes.
Yeah, that's not how that wording should be. So I text him, and he calls me up, and he's like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Holy shit, it really is the Reaper." And he got that flu and was
Jesus.
down. Poor guy.
Is it from China?
Yeah,
No, it's from China.
And they've confirmed it. It came from China.
Anyway.
China. Why don't you ask China?
China.
All right. All right.
God
enough.
bless you, Trump.
Woo, Trump train.
Yeah. Lee.
Anyway, what else? What else has happened? Chippy's carrying everybody. As
Oh,
far as
he is
numbers
carrying.
go.
Congratulations, by the
yeah,
way.
there you go.
Wait, he did the same thing I did though. He was like, "There's no way they'll give me one," and I
Yeah.
had a conversation. I was like, "Dude, they'll give you one. They gave me one, and there's no
Right.
crazy.
Listen,
you don't have any crazy
After
violent
Pierre
background,
gave me the
like-
pep talk and said, if they gave me a permit, they're going to give you one.
Yeah.
And I got in trouble
No.
a little bit. I hope the judge ain't.
But it's like, you know, it's like we're 40 something years old.
I don't wanna
so it's like,
perjure myself,
If
so
you get,
let's
if you
just
get in
change the
trouble back when
subject.
you're 18, 19, and 20, it's all sealed. Everything's sealed after 10 years. So it's one of those things, you know. It's like accident forgiveness. So what
Yeah,
did you get
definitely.
anyway?
I don't want to perjure myself. So I'm
Is
going
that
to stop
Geico?
right now.
Geico?
Yeah. So you got a new, you know, oh shit sidearm. What you got
So,
there?
I got
He's
me.
just going to break it right out.
Oh, I am. I definitely am. I got me a nice
Oh, let
little
me see
Canic
this.
TTI Combat because I had to get one a little bit prettier than Pierre because he didn't get the TTI.
Well, no, I don't see. As far as my Canic goes, I think mine's prettier, but as far as my
Compensator.
Coyote side gun, that one's prettier. I won't give up my 57 for anything because of the
it's
caliber around and stuff
9.
that it is. But yeah, if you want something
It's-
that's cheap enough that
It
is
shoots nice.
gorgeous,
Does it?
that shoots
It's-
really well,
It shoots really
the
balanced.
trigger on it is so smooth. The
Listen,
Canic
it's a-
TTI Combat.
It's the John Wick gun, man.
Yeah. Well, it's the one that has the short. You should feel the reset on it too. So squeeze the trigger, but hold it. Slide the slide back, and then let the trigger go, and then squeeze it again. Now let it go, and then squeeze it again. It's
So
like an
that's-
eighth of an inch maybe
that's-
of
yeah.
travel
That's
between
short,
firing
but
and not firing. Yeah. Ting ting ting.
That's
ting,
going
ting,
to
ting.
take a lot of...
And it's like maybe what 3 pounds or something. Maybe a little bit more than that. I forget.
It's
what
not
it is
much.
actually.
I mean,
It might
it's
be
right
like
there
6
with
pounds
my
or something.
with
but
my
yeah.
hunting gun. Yeah.
I have a. I've got a
It's
trigger.
going to take a
real
lot
quick.
of training to just...
I know you guys are in something.
We should give
It's the skunk rut.
Is it really?
That's
So
what.
that explains.
Listen, if you want to know something, just ask Brian Rush.
Yeah, that's fair. The skunk rut.
Freaking Brian.
He does. He knows.
But wait a minute, I did want to give a shout out.
We got to do a
though.
plug.
We're gonna.
quick.
Definitely do a plug to Bordertown.
Bordertown holsters.
Yeah, where are they at? It's Yuma,
I forget exactly.
Yuma,
Yeah.
Arizona,
Yeah.
veteran owned and operated.
Yeah.
The guys, I ordered it. I had a hard time finding a holster that would take my light on my particular gun.
Well, so that's how I found it, and that's how I told you about
me,
it. 'Cause I
shoot
said-
him an email.
Yeah.
Listen, this guy, they're a couple hours behind us. Timeline.
What's happening right now?
Dennis says a desk pop would draw viewers. Just saying.
Oh, God.
What was that?
So-
The other guys? Desk pop? They just shoot the gun
Yeah,
off
yeah.
at the desk?
Yeah. The other guys, it was a
We
Mark
should've done
Wahlberg
that.
and Will Ferrell movie.
Oh.
He's like, when was your last desk pop? And he was like, September or whatever. He's like, oh, just do it. And he's like, well, I've never done a desk pop. He's like, boom. He
All right,
he's like,
let's
I
go
did
down.
my first desk pop, guys. The whole
Sorry,
building's
dog.
like, what the fuck? He's like, that's not a real thing. He's like, they were real convincing. Anyway, Bordertown holsters.
Definitely. Dude, I emailed him, and it was 8 o'clock our time. So,
Yeah.
it's 6 o'clock in the morning their
I'm gonna have to
time.
look at that.
Oh, AM.
AM.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
gonna say they're
I
not-
sent him an email. And
After.
you
He didn't
usually,
really think about it before he hit the click.
Well, I said, I mean,
Well,
I
I
searched.
mean-
That's an email.
When I
It's not
went
like
to
a
go
phone.
look for mine, I searched for like
Yeah.
2 hours because I have the site on there. I have the big comp on mine. I have the other thing. I'm just trying to look for whatever. My
were
57.
you able to fit your
I-
thumb pedal in on yours?
That was
Really, Steve?
Doesn't
that was the best thing.
If you don't know, Steve just announced his presence.
Oh, man, we're never going to get this
The
Bordertown
fact
plug
that
out.
everybody just quieted real quick. We're like, what is
Well,
going
because we heard police, and we were
Yeah.
like, "Fuck,
Yeah.
man, get out of here."
So anyway, Bordertown plug. I was looking for a specific holster and I couldn't find it anywhere. And I found Bordertown and went through the list. I was like, man, they have it for like everything. So when Chip asked about it, I said, just look.
Yeah,
up
I had a hard
Bordertown.
time finding my
That
light. and
was-
It actually worked out perfectly.
Yup. Call him. He makes some. Even if he doesn't have it on his website, call him. Sometimes he's working on it. He's like, yeah, we're working on it to be out in a month or
Tuesday.
something.
It was in
yeah.
my mailbox today. And
Buddy,
today's
yeah.
Thursday. It was like
Oh,
lead
nice.
time. Not only that, I mean, they got every color imaginable, even like the Barbie pink for, you gals and some
Yeah.
really happy guys.
That's the other thing. The
So-
colors you like the buttons and stuff on the side, the clips.
Oh,
they
yeah,
have
you
in
change the
waistband,
rivet
out
color.
of waistband, the
great.
hip holsters,
Wait, what
all
So
that
go on
stuff.
I want to. Let's see the holster. Let's put it out there for
Yeah, it
everybody. to
up,
see.
and
you
it
held it up
locks
for
in.
like half
It
a
locks
second.
in nice
Yeah,
too. It locks in
It
nice.
definitely-
It's got a hip
Oh, it's
piece
Kydex.
on it. Kydex, yeah. So all the little screws,
Oh,
you can
so
get
you
different
can
color screws. You can get all the
tighten up.
different sights and lights and all that stuff. They have a combo for all that. You basically just go on their website, pick what colors, things you want, what gun, what lights, what sights, all that. And
So they just
they're at your
know-
house within a day or two.
How do
They
they?
Dude,
have, they have
Like a
thing-
mold?
So they have
this thing
this
is
set up.
molded.
or like
It
a
must be a
hard
mold.
plastic.
It's perfect.
It's either like a 3D printed or whatever. I don't know exactly what they have, but they have whatever it is that they have. They have the.
So then you heat this all up and fold it over and like vacuum it on there.
Yeah.
So it's form fit.
So I'm sure it's a blank, and I'm not
CJ,
molding
make
that
sure I
around
get
real
that gun
guns,
back.
What gun?
but- Yeah, isn't that thing fucking?
No, I love this thing. When he told me he was going to buy a pistol, I'm like, "How'd you make out?" I call him, and he was like, "Well, I bought 2." And I'm like, "Holy shit, that escalated."
Well, so he calls me. He's like, I got it whittled down to like 3 that I want, and I was like, all right. So then I got there, and
I
we,
had
we
your
did
gun
Civil
sitting
War.
on the counter.
So
the
yeah,
same one
mine's
as
the
yours.
TTI, or the not TTI, the Canic Rival, and then I was like, this is nice if you're if you're gonna start putting parts, you want the long comp, the gas pedal, all that stuff on it. I was like, if you don't want a longer comp and a huge ass gun to draw and shoot, that TTI Combat's already got a little comp on it. Just enough to keep the nose down. That coyote pops out at 10 yards behind you, and you start
Mag
to
dump
panic.
it and still
Ding, ding,
miss.
ding, ding. It'll
I don't know what
keep
you're talking
but
about.
the comp
share
will keep
that
the gun a
story?
little
Which one?
a little bit lower. That's all.
Oh no, I haven't talked
Is he
about
still
any of that.
sitting up there? He is still
I think
sitting
somebody
up.
just went speeding by my house, Steve. Just so you know. I want to know if you could hear if.
Oh, look at him! They're slamming on the brakes. They see him sitting there.
Why don't you turn your lights off, bro?
Oh,
No, you're not.
Is he getting?
No,
Is he
no,
getting?
he's coming this way.
Wow.
Oh man. Anyway,
If you
so
listen real careful.
no, he won't do it again. Oh look, we need the song.
Cherries and berries. Yeah. Bad boys, what you gonna do?
Nobody can
What
see
you
this,
gonna
but
do? They come for you.
we're well protected.
Golly.
So as far as the count goes, we gotta talk about coyotes. As far as the count goes, Chip has how many? You shot 6 more, right? How many more did you shoot?
Yeah, I'm at 12.
So Chip's
Are
been
you at
like
12? God damn.
he's been like carrying us because we haven't seen. Well, the weather sucks.
What are you talking about? I shot 2 over the weekend or something.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
because
just
you
now.
go. Oh, bang!
don't
I'll get
even
that one
start.
in the morning.
You're talking
I
about,
know
you're
from
talking
I
about,
don't walk out there. I'm in my underwear when
No,
I
I know.
shoot
we're
them.
talking
You-
about pillow coyotes.
Yeah, the pillow sniper.
Pillow sniper.
You gotta put pillows in the windows. They hear the windows slide open.
Pillow
They're
sniper.
brand new windows.
The pillow sniper.
Vegetable
That's
oil,
good.
man. Fix it right
Somebody's
up.
got to get a whole weather shield and complain, man.
Talk about
And I spent a lot of money on those things.
I have a cat door that I put in my window. Maybe I'll slide it over to the other kitchen window and just poke around the cat door.
And not all of them were like that, Josh. 4 of them were like that.
Okay.
The other ones were
All right.
actually clubbed
So a
in
third.
the shop.
Oh, okay.
So, a third
So
of them.
Chip's
I
got
mean, that's still pretty up there.
yeah, but like it's funny we were
Yeah,
talking.
but there's 2 more there now.
we were
It's like
we
I
were talking about
keep
this.
forgetting to wake
Every-
up.
everybody was worried about because I had more, and I'm like, listen, there's a ton of season left. Things can happen, and then all of a sudden this guy just ping, ping,
Field
ping,
lights
ping,
up.
ping, ping, and
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
went from the back of, well, sorry, Pierre, not the back of the line. But
Yeah.
I went from
Yeah.
near the back of the
Golly.
line, and I caught up quick.
I'm here for you.
The season's not over with. I mean, I don't really put the time in that.
I'll not be
I'd
doing
like
it.
to, but, you know.
I'll not
When
be
opportunity
doing any
strikes,
catching
you
up.
strike.
Well, that's it. I mean,
Sorry. Sorry
they,
for partying.
they took down a deer in my front yard, and
Yeah, let nature take its course.
well, that's it.
just made opportunities happen.
they took it down, and I took them down.
So we haven't. The weather here has been just terrible. I mean, I'll go out if it's cold. I don't care. But if the wind's blowing 40 miles an hour and it's like negative 10 out, like
The
Well,
last-
it's
Really, I think the snow is the worst when we
The
got
crunchy
the
snow.
crunchy snow. Yeah.
Man,
Well,
you sound like an abominable snowman
that-
walking through the field out there.
Night, Steve.
That one, the video of me missing 5 times, I was just crunching the whole time. I was like, there's no way this guy's going to hear me. I get up to the top, and he's like half the distance, so it's like 200 to the corner. He was probably already at like 150 coming at me. I'm like, oh my God. So I turned
he
the
is
scope
special,
on,
Dennis. He's very
and
special.
he come all the way in. Yeah.
So that was the 5 shots, and
But that was crunchy snow. I walked all the way up that
what
field.
the snow have to do with missing the dog though?
Well, no, nothing. There was
just
well, you
saying
were
that
saying that it
was-
was scaring the dogs
Oh,
away.
right.
I'm saying the dog was 100 yards by the time I got there. There's no
Dude.
way he didn't hear me crunching in the snow, and he still.
He had a
Like
lot
you
of
see the
wind
one
that night.
shot, he looked back the other direction. It
Yeah.
wasn't. It was a little windy, but it wasn't that bad, and it was loud.
Yeah.
That's
Like
a
when
valley
you-
right there. That thing, that thing echoes down that.
Like
back.
when you were walking
Where we
up there,
park?
you were like, fuck.
Yeah, where we park, I stayed low because I didn't want to walk all the way up the hill, so I stayed low on that side, and I tried to stay in that little gut. So I come up on that edge. I'm sure if you look at the video, you'll go, that view is different.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I was
what?
down further.
Yeah.
You know that where you were standing, it goes across and then down one more
Yeah.
time. I was on that first knob right there, but yeah, there's no way you couldn't. I heard that. That was crazy.
So that night I was eating dinner and the camera went off. And I'm like, Pierre, there's a coyote. I text him.
was it the raccoon in the field before that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm making dinner. And the camera goes off, and I was like, "Oh, we got a live one." And I was like, "Oh, goddamn raccoon!" It
Raccoon.
goes off like 3 or 4 more times in like a half an hour.
Yeah.
So I check it. I put my phone down, so then I'm like cutting onions and chopping peppers and all this shit. And CJ's like, "What are you doing, bro? You out there or what?" And I was like, "What are you talking about? I go kill a raccoon? I'm not getting up to kill a raccoon. Burn dinner." He's like, "No, it's a coyote." So I'm like, "Ah, God." Searching through the pictures real fast. I was like, "All right,
Be right
I'm
back.
out." So I run up there, and then that was that whole missing situation. But it was cold, man. When it's like 20 and that wind's coming across, even with gloves on, my hands freeze so fast. It's brutal.
No, I went out last Friday for one by myself because
I fell asleep.
you fell asleep. I was like, screw it. I got some spots I can hit. I went down behind my parents' house, and I'm standing there. And I got one to talk. And
Yeah,
just
down in the swamp there.
calling and
we know they're
calling.
there.
and standing there, I'm not like leaned over or hanging on off a cliff or whatever.
Yeah.
And this gust of wind came, dude. I took 2 steps back. I'm like, oh shit! It's really windy out here.
You know, it's crazy because if you look on the coyote pages and stuff, you'll see a
guys
lot of
should've been in
guys.
the wind.
You'll see a lot of guys go, "It's windy, the coyotes aren't out. It's snowing, the coyotes aren't out. It's foggy, the coyotes aren't out."
I don't know.
I've
think
killed
we've
so many in the
shot
wind
all
and
in
snow
all
and
kinds of
fog.
weather.
No, definitely. No, they're definitely out in the fog.
Mine
love
come
the
out
fog.
all the time, dude. I can't. Everybody's like, "Oh, it's so windy,
I
I'm
don't
staying
even
in,"
look
and all of
at
a
it
sudden
like
the camera's going off, and it's like, dude, it seemed like that this year they were only out on those inclement days, dude.
I don't think of it as they're not out. I don't like it because I can't hear their responses.
Yeah, we've called and stuff like
Yeah.
that, but like you'll see everybody else on the pages, like on
Yeah.
the predator pages.
Yeah.
So it's not just us; it's
No.
everybody. Literally going like, "Yeah, fuck that! I don't hunt in the wind."
I,
The
you know what?
coyotes-
I would
the
love
coyotes
for us to
bunk
be able
down.
to get out west sometime where all you gotta do is a lip squeak
No,
and
you
you
go-
come running in.
And they just, and you
And
just
here
see,
they
Yeah.
15 of
Well,
them.
that-
You know, it's funny because
But-
you see these guys, oh, well, they shot 40 of them over the weekend. And I'm like,
There was a guy posted the other day. I think it was like a 97 or 99 dog weekend.
what?
The back of the pickup truck was full all the way around.
I'm gonna need that
It
address.
was like a cord of firewood in there. But it was all kind of, I said, "What the hell?" I forget what state it was in. I
I
probably
want
should
them
have
to come to
looked,
New
but-
York and show us what we're doing wrong.
Well, it's funny because a lot of the guys will say that too. They're like, "Oh, I kill 90 of them a night." Like, yeah, come to New York and see how many you kill, pal.
Well, see, our dogs are
it's
different here.
totally different out here.
We hunt confined, tight spaces, residential areas packed with agriculture, and there's dogs there, and they're just
There's houses there,
there's
too.
houses there too. So
it's
there's
New York though. It's not like
there's
there's,
people,
there's no
and they don't want to be around people. So like if they hear something, they're out.
There's not that many per square mile though,
No.
as there is out there. Is what I'm saying.
What is it? What is it like up by Brian, though? It's a lot more farmland and everything,
Well,
right?
there's some resident.
Did you say he was kind of surprised, like, when he came down and
Yeah,
guys
we were in a
hunting,
spot,
you're
and I'm like,
don't shoot this
I'm
way,
like-
house that way.
right. Yeah, I'm like, well, you got it. So I mean, and they're not like when we say a house, don't get scared. It's not like 60 yards away. We're talking
Yeah.
through that wood line.
But knowing they're back there, you know
Right.
what I mean? Like
You
just to
gotta
be
know.
safe, like
You
that
gotta-
round could skip a couple
Right.
times. It's
You
just
gotta know your
chance,
shooting
you know what I mean?
lanes,
Yeah,
where
you
it's
gotta
safe.
know what's there anyway.
That particular
Regardless.
spot, there's 3 shots you can make. If they're not in those 3 areas,
And it's like Ronnie's
it's like
house.
it's just a coyote. Brian says it all the time. It's just a coyote. It ain't worth none of that bullshit.
Just like Ronnie's house.
Can we talk about how stupid red fox are? Yes.
They are pretty nice.
Feel good fox.
Hey, Dennis. He
As
says, miss them, and they charge your position. Kiss at them, and they charge your position. Chase them off your coop, and they come right back. Seriously overrated predator.
They
The whole sly
Man, I
fox
love-
thing.
We gotta get Dennis
I think.
back. Why'd you chase him away with
I gave him a
freaking
shit
steel
chair, and I
Steel
didn't-
chair.
Gave him the steel chair routine.
Hey, he's such a great guy. He's just had
Listen,
so much knowledge.
You're making my complex worse. I literally ask Brian about Dennis all the time. I just feel like he hates me now.
Why don't you
because I
ask
give-
Dennis about Dennis?
Well,
He's right here.
I know, he knows now.
Listen,
So I asked Brian about Dennis. Like I feel like I got to go through a friend at this point. I'm
Well,
like out
no,
of the
I
zone.
didn't realize-
out of the friend zone.
like it was towards the end of the podcast. I see him shifting around a little bit, and I realized he was sitting on an anvil. You know, I'm like,
Yeah, and I'm like, I remember looking over and being like, thumbs up, and he's like, steel chair. I was like, yeah, for 3 hours, dude.
yeah, well,
Everybody
you should definitely go to Kathy Hochul's training for a pistol class. 'Cause
Yeah.
we're sitting in steel chairs for 9 hours a day.
That's too much.
Feel good fox. Yep.
You got
Feel good
trademark
fox.
it, Brian. Trademark
Yeah.
the feel
So
good
like
fox.
everybody uses that now because of you.
Yes,
So
definitely.
that's a.
Well, we can't shoot anything else. It's a
Rush
feel
Gus's
good fox.
Probably do a little bit more fox stuff in the beginning of the year. It's weird because like I feel like I do the same thing hunting. I'm like, I don't let all these does go. We got plenty of time. By the time it's like we got to put meat in the freezer, the does are gone.
You know what I mean? So it's like fox hunts the same thing. We're like, there's so many foxes in the beginning of the season.
That gray
All of a sudden they
fox I
disappear.
got this year was
Pretty.
beautiful, man.
I shot a nice one too.
That was
I like the grays.
That
but-
red I shot out here
Yeah,
that night was
pretty
nice.
dog.
Yeah.
Pretty. Not pretty.
There's
Dog.
there's
you
like
got
a
2 shots in on that one, didn't you?
Scalp that motherfucker.
Yeah,
Don't bring
because
that.
I tried to
Oh,
shoot
yeah,
it between the
took the
targets.
cap
So
off.
it's just like Dennis said. Did you blow the kiss and it stopped again?
No, it stopped on its own. It ran 50 yards and was like, "What was that?" And then it
peeled the whole.
took the top
Yeah.
of his head off.
It was like
It's
too
like
paid
a
the
little
motherfucker.
Indian Native American.
I just
guy.
stayed here. They went out after. I'm like, well, whatever.
He goes, go get him.
Yeah. I saved that fox. He'd been coming here all week, and I waited for podcast night. I'm like, bring your rifles. There's a fox been on the bait pile.
Bong.
Yeah. I'm like, go get him. Josh had his shoes on before that thing finished ringing. And he was out the door.
You said it's a fox. Get him. Like, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Grabbed my hoodie and my earmuffs, and I was gone.
You know, that's the way to do
Yeah.
it.
Brian saw a lot of, yeah, he was saying this the other
Yeah.
day. I have one on the bait pile now. We have the bobcat that's been licking the camera. I haven't seen a bobcat here all season.
No, there was one up.
On
On the
the
other
other
side.
camera.
Yeah.
He was up on the other
Yeah,
side.
and then we saw one. What was that, Saturday night? When we went out?
We saw 5 dogs that night.
Oh, yeah, and we saw a bobcat that I mistake for...
Yeah, we
so
get
all I
on
could see
stand.
was its shoulders and up. And
Yeah.
I look over, I say, I think there's a rabbit over there. All I could see was his shoulders up.
We
All
sitting
of a
in the
sudden,
woods when we got there.
this thing stood up, and you know how cats stretch their back
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
when they...
The old
He goes,
All of a
"Hold
sudden,
on,
I'm like,
hold
I'm
on,
like,
hold
hold
on,"
on,
he
it's a
goes.
big cat. This thing ran, and its ass was so high up in the air when it was running. I was amazed. It looked like a damn deer running through the woods.
Yeah, I saw it. He's like, over here. That's not a rabbit. That's not a rabbit.
Heck,
And I'm
'cause all I
looking,
could see
and I
was, like, the
turned,
top-
and
it
he was
dropped
standing where you
off.
stand at Nate's. And it went across through the woods there in the little field.
And it figures, again, season's over.
Yeah. Yeah. So we had to let him go. But that night, so we go there, and
Oh,
what we got?
And Rush said he called a bobcat last night that got within 20 yards of it, Andy.
Oh, yeah? Did Andy talk to him?
did he go tally ho?
Andy give him the tally-ho? That video was so funny. That's
Oh,
like
yeah.
that's like them guys on YouTube that with the pigs. And they're like, "Hey,
What
bud,
you
what you
got
got?"
What you got there, bud?
But that, so we went. Me and Chip went. A lot of things have happened. We went to that. We haven't really called any dogs, to be perfectly honest. They've been either there or passing through when we get there. That kind of thing. Right place, right time. We go to one of our spots, and we had 2. I saw 2 coming through the woods. And Chip was around the corner watching the little field. And I'm like, they're right here coming through the woods. They're coming through. They got to this big old tree and they stopped. They were on the other side of it, so I couldn't see them. And then I see 2 more come down this valley. Same thing. And then they just disappear. They're gone. Now all of a sudden I look up on it. It's this huge hill. Huge hill. And there they are walking while there was one had come from behind us. I turned on it, tried to shoot it. It heard me. Crunch, crunch, crunch.
Yeah.
So that ran away.
I'm
then
on
the
the
4,
wrong side of the brush line,
Yeah.
so I'm
Then the 4
pissed.
come
Can't
out,
see nothing anyhow.
and they're in a line across this hill. We had to wait for them to come down,
Yeah.
obviously, so it was safe. So I'm like, I'm throwing everything at them, trying to get them to come just a little closer. They're at 346 when I fired.
Oh.
But they had come down-
Barking.
barking. He was barking with the rush
Oh,
hour,
man.
trying to piss them off.
They were getting pissed.
Yeah.
I mean, it started off one dog barking, and then I had them all barking.
And then they're all like fucking like getting some short howl at them.
So I'm barking and yipping, ki-eyeing, and
You know?
barking at 'em. That rush call, man, after you really start to get the hang of it, it's like you got to leave it in your truck and just drive down the road.
Yeah.
Because I do it in the house, and it pisses my kid off.
Yeah, you can.
So
It's
I get-
loud.
Well,
It's
my
super
kid's
loud.
got autism too,
Well,
so
yeah,
loud
so
noises like.
yeah.
But-
Kids in there just freaking out. Chip's like, we can quiet down. I gotta figure this out right now.
Oh man,
We're
so,
on a sequence.
yeah, you just drive down the road, and you
That's what
do
I've been
some
doing all
yips.
week.
You leave the window open a little bit so the cars or the people walking down Main Street Valatia are like, what the freaking hell?
Or if you're going through Hudson.
Well, 2 a.m. in Hudson is the
That shit
perfect
was
time
so
to blow
funny.
it out the window.
Anyway, so the dogs moved down the hill, and they're all lined up, perfect, sitting, all of them sitting. This one gets up, starts going back to the woods. That's the one I was on. And I was like, fuck, I'm trying to range it with the DTN and get a shooting solution just to see where the other crosshair is going to be. I knew where I wanted to be, but you're shooting, I mean, it's a uphill.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at it. This one gets up, starts walking in, passes the second one. That one still sits there. Then it gets to the next one. That one gets up with it. I'm like, it's now or never.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So my tripod, because of the snow, and we were standing on a sheet of ice.
Oh yeah, it was bad.
So I get down behind my gun, and my gun's going like this. Because it's just sliding all over the and he's like, are you going to shoot? Or this guy, are you going to shoot? Are you going to shoot? I'm like, shut the fuck up.
I was going to shoot. Listen, I was going to shoot through pucker brush just to
dump rounds
do a
out.
poke at it.
I fired. I don't even know where it hit. I missed it. They ran away. We leave there, go to another spot. Again, I was trying to find stuff that was short walk.
Yeah.
That we could see a lot.
That was a short walk.
That was a pretty short walk.
Really?
Yeah. At the second spot? Yeah.
The last spot we went to, down that fence line on the ice.
That wasn't that far. So it's all ice.
Well, you can ice skate down there if you want.
Oh,
It was bad.
You didn't break
It was
through.
bad. We're sitting there, we're unloading the truck. I'm like, is this truck coming out of here?
That's this past week?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cold, that rain, all the snow everywhere.
Yeah.
We're standing at the tailgate, and I'm afraid I'm going to slip and go underneath the motherfucker right down.
Well, he said, he said, I'm getting out of the truck. He's like, don't Josh over there.
I did.
He goes,
He opens the door and jumps out. I'm like, don't do it, Josh, man. I look over, waiting for Chippy to disappear.
He's like, you're a little heavier than Josh. You're going to rip the door handle off my truck.
Yeah, so when Josh fell out here, I look over and his arm, he looked like fucking Iron Man, just hanging on with his one arm on the door.
Yeah,
like he was over a lava pit. You know what I mean? Like, anyway, so we slide down this fence line. It was all ice. Well, we didn't break through, which was great. It was nice and quiet. Wind right to left, of course, not where it wasn't ideal for the situation that happened. So there's this huge hillside.
Take that.
With a house on top of it. There's a couple houses up, right? And I'm calling, and I just happened to turn all the way around back towards the horse fence, and here comes this coyote working that tree line all the way down through
back down.
And I'm like, there's one on the right. He couldn't find it through the woods. And I'm waiting, like I had a hole right here. I'm waiting for it to get. If it gets past that hole, I know we're good because the wind's blowing right at him.
Right.
So he got to that hole and he smelled us. That was fucking.
It was done.
That was it.
It
He
was
was like,
done.
whoop, he turned around and left.
But
we saw 5 fucking dogs.
It was great though because
and he was excited. I was fucking pissed. I'm like, we ain't got nothing dead though.
No, we might not have anything dead, but dude,
to be out
you
calling
think
a
about
man
it.
and
We called dogs
Yeah.
after a dry spell of not being able to pull anything in.
Yeah, right.
That was exciting
Yeah, you gotta
for
love
me.
pulling them
5
out
and
for a
1.
dry
Well,
spell,
the
you know what I mean?
bobcat was there already, but 5 dogs.
Yeah, but that was exciting to me, just knowing that we could reach out and knock them on the head and say, hey, come over here, and they came,
You gotta love it.
We did not shoot anything. And then, been having an issue with coyotes at my farm. My parents have a dog. The dog wouldn't go out at night. They put her out on a run right outside the back door. My mother closed the door, the dog was trying to get back in.
Yeah.
Terrified. So obviously something's going on. Right. We had prevailing north winds, right? So the scent from the coyotes is blowing right at her, right? She knows, so she can smell it.
There. Yeah.
So, and my mother's like, I can't understand this. She won't go out, this and that. So I go over there the one night, my first run-in with this dog, and I stood in the backyard by my hay barn, and the dog was across the street in the neighbor's field, which I can't shoot that way because there's houses all behind it. So I watched this dog. It came out halfway across that field and just sat there like pacing back and forth. It didn't want to come any further.
Right.
Then it went back in. Then it came back out. Did the same thing. I was there for an hour and 30 minutes messing with this fucking thing. Because the guy's got a barn with a motion light on it. Yeah. And every time the dog come out of the woods, he tripped the motion light.
He'd turn and head back in.
Yep. Yeah. So I'm watching. It doesn't happen that night. Week goes by. I go back. It was one of those nights I couldn't sleep. I was like, fuck it, I might as well go hunting.
Yeah.
So I get up, get dressed, go solo, go over to the farm, set up. The snow had gotten warm that day and melted a little bit, and it was still kind of warm. Well, it wasn't, fucking blizzard below zero conditions, so it wasn't bad out. There was no wind. I put the driveway had melted, so it was not loud, so I could walk on it. So I put the call on our fucking chipper that's sitting by the trucks, which is literally 60 yards from me on the right, and because I could get to it and everything. And I call, and I did some distress first, real light. I had a bobcat come down off out of the brush and sit on the ridgeline looking at me, and I'm looking at the bobcat. Turns around, leaves. I'm there, I don't know, it was creeping up on an hour, and I did, this is when I did a fight with a rabbit. I turn a fight on. I forget which fight it is. Me and Brian were talking about this. I gotta remember that to look.
He might chime in.
Well, it's on e-caller, so
He
on
may
the
still
Lucky
know.
Duck. So I turn this fight on, and I blow in the rabbit, right? And I stop, and then I stop the fight. You know what I mean? It went for a minute, 2 minutes, whatever it was, up and down, this and that. I'm running the remote, running the hand call. And it's quiet, and then I hear 4 legs running through the snow. It sounded like one of my cows were out.
Yeah.
Like you know the difference when you hear something walking through the snow. It's like between 2 legs and 4 legs, right? You can hear it, the pitter patter, right? So I hear the Ellie's having a dream. So I hear the pitter patter, and I'm frantically with the
Trying to figure
scanner
where the fuck
trying
it
to
is.
find it. I got a log pile here, a mulch pile, a truck. They could be coming out of the woods between the trucks, and I won't see it. So I'm frantically spinning around, can't find it. I drop my scanner to listen again, and I look, and from me to my front door away is a coyote.
And you hit it.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, it ran a little bit.
Just let the record show it's about 7 yards.
Yeah. So, it was that close. Like, I put my scanner in my chest back, and I picked my head up, and it was bright enough out
Yeah,
with
you
the
can see the
snow
silhouette,
that
yeah.
I could see. And I'm like, that's coyote. And I just,
Ding, ding, ding.
no. So I get behind my rifle, and it's standing there looking at me, and I clicked my light on. Well, heard that, the click.
Oh, yeah.
And this thing turns around and starts running down the pond berm, and I looked at it and smoked it.
No.
And
Bad move.
Yeah.
Never run straight away.
but let me tell you what, I don't get freaked out a lot. When you hear them running at you and you can't see where they're coming from,
Yeah.
like,
You're out by yourself, you there?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the caller was so close to me that,
Right. Oh, yeah. It probably just circled on you.
Yeah.
Okay.
you know what I mean? Like, that's why you put your caller out.
Yeah.
To draw their attention, unless you're a hand caller like Brian is, to draw their attention away from you so you
Yeah.
can do what you need to do. This thing, I heard it coming, and I when I got done, you had texted from when you were in Puerto Rico.
Oh, yeah.
You were like, man, I wish I was killing coyotes. And I shit you not, dude. I literally
Such
just
a
slid
liar.
my phone out of my pocket. And I'm like, it's funny you should say that.
That's
Dog down.
I remember like sitting there and literally being like, you know what? I feel like I should be home right now with the boys killing coyotes. I said, I'm gonna put it in the group. Puerto Rico's
like 12:30.
beautiful. Yeah, Puerto Rico's beautiful, but deep down, I want to be killing coyotes with you guys right now. And I did. I'm like, I'm not a vacation guy. I never really have been. So like,
I don't know. You look pretty comfortable sitting in that chair with your
Yeah.
with your sneakers on the beach. You look pretty comfortable, bro.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I was comfortable and I don't mind it, but like I'm good for 3-4 days of vacation at day 5 and 6. I'm like, man, I want to be home. I want to be in my bed. I have a life that I like. You know what I mean?
Right.
Vacation's great, but 3-4 days.
I'm the same way.
Plus, I don't.
What do we got?
You want to read some shit from Dennis here?
What? Oh my God.
All right.
Sorry, Dennis. We get bullshitting and we totally forget that people are actually trying to talk to us. Worst season for bad shot placement for me this year. Maybe getting old. No, it's not. You're not getting old. Yes. So we suffering. He's saying bad. I shot one the other night that I had hit and a couple weeks ago, and it came back. And it was healing, but I'm glad I felt really, no bullshit. Like, I shot the dog, came in, told the wife, and she's like, dog down? I'm like, yep, dog. She's like, dog down? I'm like, yep, dog down. I'm going to go
She's
get it.
using the code words.
Yeah. So I go out and I come back in. I'm like, honey, you ain't going to believe this. This is the one I winged. It started to heal. And I'm really glad I killed it, though.
Yeah.
Because the neighbors had been seeing it limping. And texted my wife and were like, hey, just so you know,
It's a limpy coyote.
there's a coyote with a left or right front leg limping. And she sends me the screenshot of the message, and I'm like, oh.
Ruh-roh.
I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
Not me.
I remember you sending the video, and when I slow it down and
Right at
was
the
looking
last
at it,
minute.
I said, man, I think it's 1/4 super
Yeah.
hard. I said, I think that thing skipped off that leg.
Yeah.
You know, it's
And it
easy
lived
enough,
through it.
Yeah.
Now, we're talking like 3
Well,
weeks.
it's I mean,
Probably because it was a 223.
if you've ever if you've ever taken apart an animal, I mean,
Right.
you know how all those muscles and stuff work. Like even a deer, you know that there's that pocket underneath
Yep.
that leg, and all you got to
Right
do
here.
is just cut through that skin.
Yeah.
It's gonna suck for them, but you
Yeah,
know,
because it's attached up here with the
you know.
with the you know,
Right, most of it's up here with the rotator cuff
Yeah.
thing or whatever that's called.
and that bullet
in
went
the crew,
right
yeah.
in between its armpit, you might as well
Yeah.
say, and blew the back side out. But I was really glad I killed it though.
Yeah.
So technically, that one gets off the unrecovered list.
You're right.
Beneficially recovered.
Yeah, that's fair. That's definitely fair.
But that's it. I mean,
Oh,
we've
foxes are out.
of course they have they know they have a calendar.
They're
Jeremy's
feeling
like,
good.
They do.
It's really bad. It feels bad, and it's all on video. Yes.
Yeah.
So we do. That happens to us too. So, a lot of people think all the time that when I post things on the Facebook page, like coyote hunting is just fucking sunshine
It's
and
all
rainbows.
glory. Yeah.
It
We need to
is.
start posting something more of the misses. Like I said, you use that 5-round miss to go for it. I got 4 or 5.
Do I post the
yeah.
misses? No.
Post them.
Is there misses? Yes.
Maybe we just
Oh,
make
there's-
one like 5-minute long video so it's not overwhelming.
Oh, God.
I'm not gonna read that one down. But
No,
Now I need to
here
know what it
goes.
says.
I can't see it. I'm at an
Hang on,
angle.
hang on. He goes, I feel most sorrow for the coyote who must explain in heaven how he died getting a rush hand job.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're all sitting there on a bench in a waiting room up there. Like, how'd you get here? I got fucked by a rush.
I heard tally ho, and then all
Tally
of a sudden I'm
ho, all of a
up
sudden,
there.
I'm dead.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's gonna be the new slogan for that
Yeah.
crew is tally ho. Patented.
Yeah. You
Rush
girls hang
custom
out here
colors.
often? Poof.
Yeah. That video was awesome. I totally want to do that. That's like the Jack Sparrow.
I do that with deer sometimes. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Sometimes they won't stop. You grunt, and somebody's like, "Hey, man!"
Yeah, right.
They're like, "Whoa, what?
Yeah, I've had deer like that. If they're on a rut like that, sure. They don't care about shit.
No.
You gotta say some human words.
Right.
Hey, you mind stopping?
Yeah.
They're
Hey,
just
bud, what you got?
the hell? Yeah.
Is that a rack?
Oh, nice.
Still waiting to
rack.
see one of us out there in the video, you know. You see the dog running in, the dog's not stopping instead of woofing. Matt, Matt, Matt. Try to get the dog to stop.
I tried to, yeah, that one night I missed. I tried to get that stop. I barked and it just kept coming. You know, I think it was like crunchy ice and snow.
Yeah, so that video.
I said, "Whoa!" It did not stop. I was
Yeah.
like, "Do I yell again or just put one down the center?" But it was like maybe 50, 60 yards.
Yeah.
You see
We
him,
have one
him
like-
tucking his little tail, and he's like
That-
Scooby Doo.
That
Yeah.
double we
he
shot.
had extra gear.
Double, same thing.
I barked at him at least twice
With
before you
Yeah.
before you made
He's
noise.
doing it with his diaphragm in his mouth. He's woofing
Oh,
at
yeah,
it, you
yeah.
know? And the
They're
things,
not.
and they're just
not stopping.
Yeah.
coming in. I'm like, what? You know? And then he,
Yeah.
and then he,
Excuse me.
You
yeah.
gotta do some authority.
Yeah, they were, they ended up,
Rush says, Tally
Tally-ho.
ho is engraved on my rifle.
tally ho.
Tally-ho.
That, patented Rush Custom Colors.
That was,
That is your new slogan, tally ho.
you know,
We got to get decals made, Rush Custom Colors, tally ho. I think it's a great
feel
idea.
good fox stickers.
Yeah, feel good fox, tally ho. I'm You know, or something like that. We'll get the design team on
You'll
that.
figure it out.
But I want 10%.
I need commissions on that one.
Anyway, we got anything else?
Commissions? Are you doing royalties on it?
Royalties.
Yeah.
Listen, I watch the Sharks too, motherfucker. Other than that, everybody loves breeding season. I fucking hate it. My favorite time of year to shoot coyotes is October 1st.
Yeah.
Where you go, and they just come in, you go boom, and, and then another one comes, and then another one comes. Like
70 degrees out there.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's warm, you know. We hunted some bad shit this year.
The only bad thing about
Ice,
early October is
snow,
the mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes. But
You're out there getting West Nile virus trying to shoot a fucking coyote.
we were in headsets,
malaria.
and they're like, you know, on the fucking on the speaker.
Yeah.
And you're trying not to move much because, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, you're just trying to like throw a
coyote over
shoulder
here.
or something
Yeah.
up there.
It's 70, 80 degrees at night, and you're wearing freaking long sleeve shirts trying to keep them off. Yeah.
Sweating like crazy.
Sweating.
It's still worth it.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. It just sucks a
It's
little.
funny how, you know, and
I mean,
like
it sucks a little when it's windy
so-
and cold. So.
last year we had a great season, you know, 35 dogs, and we have fucking shattered that this year.
52.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll cheers and drink to that.
Yeah.
I had a bunch of them tied up, so I shot them quick.
Well, we did our bait piles have gotten better. We got more bait piles.
I meant to text you this morning.
I did worse this year.
There was a fresh kill over on 203.
There was a deer tonight. Steve trying to get me to go get it, and I'm like, dude, I can't. I gotta go pick the kids up, and I got
Send a location.
everybody's coming.
Sorry.
Yeah, there was one.
Send a location.
Yeah,
Oh,
you'd be surprised how many times he gets car deer accidents, and they fucking are gone. Like
Oh,
people.
yeah. Somebody scooping them.
Yeah, we went. Somebody sent
Yeah,
us
so
on
two
a
of them.
goose chase one night, and
Yeah,
there's two of them. There's one over here, one over there.
we're
When
on
we
both
get
sides
there,
of the county.
there's freaking car parts everywhere.
Car
Big blood
headlights,
stain in the road.
fucking bumpers.
Deer
No
gone.
deer
No
anywhere.
deer. They left the car parts.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
yeah.
don't need that shit.
Both locations, grill sitting there.
Yeah, we don't need
Headlight.
that. But that deer,
Is it
that's coming with us.
Steve found it?
Yeah.
Or is that it? I mean, I could change my mind on 243. They're growing on me.
Yeah.
Steve, text me.
Let me know where the deer at. I have
I'm a 243 guy all of a sudden.
I have a 243. There's just no optic on it yet, unless JP wants to donate
I
one.
do not have one. I'm going to build a 6.5
Actually
Grendel.
went hunting with Rush, and driving home that night ran off the road. Medical cause.
malaria.
Malaria.
Oh,
Malaria?
damn,
Where the fuck
dude.
were you guys? Africa?
Oh, you can get it from here, I think.
I don't know. I don't.
Hey, you gotta watch more Dr. House and Grey's Anatomy.
I don't
You
watch-
don't know.
Yeah, because those are totally true fucking shows.
Yeah. If it's,
Yeah.
See the bum on that chick?
He said, I'm not.
we know why you watch it.
Yeah, Meredith. Yeah, okay.
Watching I'm not allowed to have porn in the house, bro. I
honey.
might have headphones
Right.
in when I watch it.
What are you watching? I'm watching the nursing show.
Yeah, I want to play doctor.
I ain't got no
What's it
scrubs here.
called? That took a turn.
You know,
tangent.
this is
Anyway.
like live forever, right? Like,
Yeah,
it
it's
stays
okay.
on there. Okay.
Sorry, babe.
My wife knows I am. She can punch me in the head later. She'll just come home and be like, "You're being an asshole." I'm like, "I know. I love you." True story.
Yeah.
I would never say, I believe you, I believe anything you say, Dennis. I would believe that you sat 3 hours in a podcast on a steel fucking chair.
Mm-hmm.
I
Dude, it's coming out of his nose.
I believe that. If you
That
told
had
me
to
that
hurt,
story, I'd be like, yes, sir, I believe it.
I almost had to spit that back in that little
Yeah,
hole.
right. Poor guy. I felt really fucking bad.
Man,
And Brian's
I don't
like,
know
"Oh,
how
don't
he
worry
did
about
it. I don't know how he did it.
Champ.
I was.
Was he the only one in a crap chair?
No, there
No.
were 2 steel chairs.
So
Who's
who had
in
the
the
other
other
one?
one?
Did I have one?
I think Rush was in one.
It might have been me.
Because I got up a
actually.
couple times.
Did you have the steel chair?
I feel like I did on the other end. We'll have to double check. Because
We're gonna go watch the video just to see who's sitting in what.
I thought it might have been me.
Well, there was a lot of us, wasn't there? Like
There were
5
6 of us.
6?
Yeah. Us 4, Brian and Dennis.
Poor Dennis. He waited so patiently.
We'll get
for
you a
his
recliner
time.
next time, Dennis.
Listen, we got to get Dennis back and put Dennis in the spotlight. Be like, Dennis, just take it away. Because he had so much he wanted to say.
Oh,
we
yeah,
just
he's
kept
got a
cutting
lot
him
of good
off.
points.
And he's such a nice guy. He was just like, okay, go ahead, guys.
He's got a.
You know, I felt terrible.
Just steamroll.
And then he starts blowing out this information. I'm like, holy crap.
See, the problem.
He's really smart.
The problem with our podcast and Dennis is like Dennis actually wants to do this so people learn shit. We get talking about fucking
tangent.
everything.
we start trying to teach
we
something,
try.
and then somebody else cuts in with a
Well,
crazy
did
story.
you guys listen to the last episode?
Asa, I was there.
Well, no, these two.
No.
He
I haven't made
he
it
said,
that
yep,
far
I was
yet.
there actually. I haven't. I think I got 2 episodes to catch up on.
Boy, you guys are fired, man. You don't even listen to your own
I was
fucking
on
podcast?
vacation.
Oh,
What else you got to do?
I only listen till when I'm in
Throw
the shower.
some earbuds in. Look at your
You
honeys
listen to
on
the
the beach.
podcast
And
in the
listen to
shower?
the best.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, showering
Wait,
with friends.
not with like.
So we all shower with
I
Chip,
guess we're going to
apparently.
get apple juice after that comment.
Awkward moment.
He said,
No, the title of it. The title is we
Tangent.
attempt to answer a listener's question,
"Oh, nice."
and
Yeah,
it was 3 hours, and we got there eventually. I think.
We had a message from a
Boss
His
lady.
guy's name was Andy.
Andy. Was it? Yeah, he's a dairy farmer.
Yeah, he was asking about setting up on a new property.
What do you do when you're looking at a new property?
Yeah, yeah.
What do? You take some of the cow's afterbirth, you throw it in a pile and sit on it.
Well, Andy, yeah, he probably has some of that.
What'd you do?
Hey,
Axe.
if you don't have any right then and there, just take some.
You know what I mean?
No,
Sit over
put it in a 5
he's saying
gallon
like
pail
how
and
do you
freeze it.
approach it? So you look for access,
Yeah, yeah.
topography, vantage
Houses,
point,
yeah. Vantage
houses,
points, yeah. Where you got the best vantage point? Yeah.
wind direction, and the dog's gonna bark in 3, 2, 1.
I think your dog's dead,
Oh,
dude.
well,
She's
we
not,
should check
don't
the
say
pulse
that.
She's
on that one.
breathing. She's fine.
Did not even care. She's like, oh, never mind, I know her.
Little
And-
girl ain't doing so good. Anyway,
What'd you say,
topography. What did I say? Houses.
Yeah.
Where the wind's coming from? Is it going to be a north spot? Is it going to be a east-west spot? Hi, honey. Welcome home. You want to jump in here? No? Okay. Anyway, so...
It's all good, Brian. It was a good one. But
What? What am I looking at? You just pointed shit. And I'm not...
down south, Tony says the next sticker is showering with friends.
He's like nightlife, but it's shower life.
Is it going to be like a tripod in the shower?
Hey, you got an Alexa in there. I mean, we can hear.
Okay.
I don't have none.
I have one of those little shower vent fans that has a Bluetooth speaker.
Oh,
in
of course you do. Of course you do.
Well, when you build houses, you have that shit.
Yeah, of course you do. Yeah, he showed up like, that's your problem right there. That fixture's junk.
Yeah.
Right in the truck.
It's got a Bluetooth speaker, and then it's all different lights, and they bump with music and all that shit. Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Disco in the shower.
You have a dance party when you're taking a shower?
Just don't
Yeah, I do the
slip.
helicopter, but not with a shirt.
You gotta go around the back of the camera.
You can
do it this
no,
way
you
if
can
you really wanted to
step
get
over.
through
It's
there.
fine.
The dog jumped. she like hopped and dog.
Hey, will you,
Now we're talking about doing the windmill in the shower.
yeah.
Shower life.
Hashtag shower. We're gonna
Yeah,
put
you
that
know
on
what?
Shower with friends, do
Shower.
the windmill.
Google
You're gonna have to
window.
keep your
Oh,
rifle
my
in the shower in case the camera goes.
Mine's in the
off for you
bathroom,
guys.
dude.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
Well, no,
for
yeah,
real.
but you don't have to get out of the shower. You want to be like,
Yeah. So we need a window and a shower.
Let me tell you
So,
something. That
Tripod
first
next
one,
to the shower. Just lean out.
That first one I shot
so,
off the
yeah.
bait pile this year at my house, I was in the middle of something. Something there required attention.
So you stop?
when you're, oh, dude, I pinched clean. I grabbed the gun. I fucking threw the window open, and that's when I shot
Welcome
that
to
big
One
dog.
Predator After Dark.
after dark.
Oh my
We
god.
may talk about some dirt snakes. It's not what you
I'm telling
All
you,
right.
man,
Well, on that note,
Yeah. Welcome back.
to the One Predator podcast.
After Dark. You gotta pay for. If y'all want to hear some that shit, you gotta pay for.
We have a different version.
Yeah.
Shower with friends.
Showering after dark.
Windmills with friends.
Well, I can't even focus now. I can't. So now we need more credit. So listen to our podcast, Shower with Friends. Hashtag Shower with Friends.
Apparently, it's better when you're in the shower.
I don't listen to it in the shower. I don't have Bluetooth speakers. Well, I do, but not in my fucking life.
I'm not in there for an hour and a half either. I mean,
Well, that one was
my
3
waters
hours.
never stay on that long.
Listen, it takes me like 3 weeks to get through a podcast.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I don't.
my ADD makes me listen to them 3 or 4 times. I can't tell how many times I got to rewind it. Like I missed the last 30 minutes because like my brain was focused on something else just playing in the background all the time.
Man, y'all need medication.
I'm usually working on stuff and like it requires my brain to be focused. So the problem is like I have my music in all day every day, so it's like playing in the background kind of while I'm thinking and doing other things. So my brain just naturally tunes it out. So.
Well, why don't you just come across the camera?
No, thanks.
You're-
Your hat.
Did you make a
Thanks, buddy.
did you make a stop for me?
Oh,
No,
no.
you didn't.
You want me
Thanks.
to go back right now?
I don't think you have time.
It's 11.
No. It's fine.
I was late.
I'm gonna give you Post-it notes for Christmas next year, so I can send
Nobody
you.
knows the trouble he's seen.
No big deal,
They
I'm
only
good.
know his sorrow.
It's no big deal. Anyway, coyotes.
Yeah. Okay.
Leave the podcast playing on my speaker when I'm working.
Not in the shower.
Not in the shower, Tony?
no, he's. But now I think the bathroom is going to be the
Yeah,
place.
when he's working on cars, but not, I just leave it on all the time. I don't know what you guys, I listen to it all the time.
I don't know, but I'm about done with the skunk rot.
The skunk, why, you still got pictures of skunks?
Dude, I got 3 bait piles, all 3 of them.
Yes,
skunk
Brian,
and
you're right.
possum.
Let's do it. Headshots.
Do they not spray when you hit them in the head?
Now they do.
Oh,
Once in a while they do.
I had
We've
one
talked
that-
about this, Dan.
I had one this morning where it was kind of a cool picture. A skunk running at the coyote
Yeah.
with his tail,
Tail
up.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
What percentage do we think?
Everybody
I don't
that
know.
starts with us keeps going, usually.
Yeah. What do they want to know?
Dennis.
What percentage of new coyote hunters do you guys think give up after a night or two? And what's the best way to keep them in the game?
I mean, I don't really think that they give it up. I mean, I got a bunch of buddies that were like, "Yeah, just started this year. I'm kind of looking forward to it." I don't know, man. You know how addicting it is, all you guys. Where you're like, "Let me get that little red light and put that on that gun." I borrowed one first night. I had a gun, borrowed a red light.
Yeah.
What are you guys using now? Oh, you're using a $500 Wraith? Yep, got one for sale for $300. Perfect, bought. Put that on a gun. And
Nope.
what do you need for a light? Borrow a fucking light and a mount. You know what I mean? It's just like
Your ADD doesn't affect you then,
it's
does it?
tough.
I know. It all depends because your morale kind of changes after a while, too, where if you're in that slump, man, I know you can't shoot him from the couch, but you can from the dining room
The
window.
only
But,
only
when
thing
you
I
hit that
can-
dry spell and you just feel like crap.
the only thing I can think is like if
But
somebody
all it takes
started-
is like, Josh nailed one tonight. And it's like, holy shit.
Yeah, Brian did it to me last night.
What I feel about it is sometimes you're on the coyote page and there'll be a guy posting like, "Hey, me and my son want to get into coyote hunting. Can we pay somebody to take us?" And then my brain goes, "Okay, so they probably have money for gear, but they don't have anywhere to hunt." And that's tough too.
Yeah.
So if that falls short,
So
are
that's
you-
a part of
do,
it,
Do you
spots.
go out? Yeah. Do you go out and door knock? Are you
Yeah.
willing to go out and door knock? Because
Access
if you
to
don't have
spots.
spots, that makes it super tough too. You know what I mean? Money isn't always it. Sometimes it's just permission. If you live in the city somewhere and you're not anywhere near farms or something,
If
Like,
you look
there's
at
a lot of things that can make
the
it tough.
range of our
once you give up,
spots
though.
too, we have like a really broad range.
We have like zones because okay, we're gonna go north tonight
Yeah.
because we have a bunch of spots we can hit up there, but then all right, we're gonna go south.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, if we go south, we're not going north.
No.
We've got spots that we haven't even been to.
Yeah,
like
I know.
lots of spots.
I
Like
a couple.
Well, the
Hey,
wind.
quit bragging, man.
You went-
Oh, we were just talking about those guys that don't got any. He's like, we got too many.
Well, I wouldn't
Well, it's
say
not
too
that we
many.
got too many. It's just
I'm
some of
only-
these
I'm only
places,
kidding, but
you
you know.
travel to them and it's like a satellite spot out in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
It's,
So
like,
it's
if
like
you
a-
hit that spot, it's going to take you an hour to make it to any of your other ones.
Well, well, I mean, we do is you like, all right, we're gonna hit the far one first, and then
That
hit
way you're
spots
coming
on the way back.
On the way back.
Or hit a short one on the way out too. You're like, hey, we're gonna hit the short one. We'll be there like half hour, 45 minutes, maybe. We'll spend the rest of the night up
Yeah.
on that far
But-
one, and then from there, it's just an easy ride home.
As far as keeping people in the game, I think we covered this when when Brian and Dennis were both here.
Right.
Go out first day of the season.
Yeah.
Because
great.
that's your best chance of dropping something. If you drop something, you get bit by that bug or stabbed by the needle, however you want to put it. And
It's when they
it
come
just,
running in for me.
Bit by the mosquito, get malaria.
Yeah,
well,
you get malaria.
that I guess that happens too.
But I mean, that it all depends on the person too, because the willing. Now we've gone through this dry spell that's been what, a month and a half,
Yeah.
and a lot of it. I don't want to call it weather conditions, only because I know what you're thinking, but only because I'm not going out in it. It has nothing to do with the coyotes. Like I'm just not. We work outside all day long, man.
Well, more specifically, you'll see the post where the guys say, "I have no luck hunting in the wind. I have no luck
Pine
hunting in the
cones.
snow." And you're like, I don't know.
That's the last
my
coyote
camera
I
goes
shot.
off a lot. in the wind.
January 3rd.
January 3rd was the last one I shot when we got that double.
When was mine? Yesterday.
Last one I shot was at 30 something
So,
pounds.
you know,
It's
almost-
a different situation.
Oh, I
We
mean-
could put a bait pile at your house.
No, we can't.
Sure we can.
Well, I mean,
There'll be,
shotgun
there'll be
those
real
motherfuckers.
frowny neighbors, but we
Yeah,
can do
shotgun them.
no, because my one neighbor already hates me.
Yeah, perfect. So we'll put it on that side.
it. Just yell, "He's coming right at me!"
Yeah.
Before you shoot, that's all. Make sure your ring camera's on and charged.
And we're gonna get you dragon fire shells for a shotgun, so it's fucking flames.
Just roasting them.
Yeah, you're roasting.
Imagine just a little coyote on fire scooting out like,
Yeah.
like in a cartoon.
Right.
Roadrunner cartoon.
barbecuing them.
Terrible behavior.
I'm glad you do, Brian. I really am. What is that? 100% correct.
Brian, dozens of. Well, hang on.
Golly.
Hold on, we're all like looking at the screen.
Brian says he's got dozens of soul permissions, hasn't touched yet. Permission is clutch for success.
Right.
First day agreed, says Dennis.
Yeah. First day's the best.
Brian loves February, March for calling.
I'm glad he does.
Love the
I
pine
don't.
cone correlations.
Yes. Yes. That's also patented Rush Custom Callers, the pine cone.
What's that?
The pine
Isolated incident.
Pine
Okay.
cone is?
Yeah. So
Means isolated incident?
Brian told this story. He saw a deer, a buck coming through the woods. I'm probably butchering it, and you can ask him.
Tell the
better.
less funny version.
So he sees this buck coming through, and it's early bow season, so there's still grass and things for to eat.
You have plenty
And
of vegetation for them
plenty
to
of
chew on.
vegetation for
Yeah.
a deer to eat, right? And this thing is chewing on a pine cone like it's got a skull in its mouth, right? So then all
Some
of a
that
sudden,
good long cut.
like a guy would see that and be like, "Oh my God, I got to hunt where the pine trees are. They like pine cones." Right? So you're taking an isolated
Yeah.
incident and
Yeah.
spreading it out.
And go,
Yes.
yeah, this is what's happening right,
Right.
now. With
Like
all
I got to
of them.
hunt pine areas because
So
big bucks like pine cones.
Got you. Makes sense.
I'll tell you that Brian
So now
Rush,
every time we talk about an isolated, yeah, he's
Isolated,
he's a real
yeah.
Renaissance
Outside-
man. Let me tell you.
oh yeah.
It's those inside jokes that are the best. Anyway.
I mean, it's the backstory of it. So like me
It
and him,
makes sense though. The pine cone story.
yeah, we
It
would
makes
be
perfect
like
sense.
chatting on a random night, and we'll be talking like telling a story or of something that happened to me or happened to him, and like I do it now. Like he'll tell me a story of something that happened. I'm like, that's a pine cone, man. And he's like, you're right. It's a
Those
pine
old
cone.
fucking keywords, man.
But
Keywords.
we're gonna have our own. We have it's patented. Rush Custom
Lingo.
Calls. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get something like other than showering with friends and whatnot.
2 with 1 bullet, Dennis.
With a 642 S&W snub.
Oh, what?
Ooh.
That sounds pretty big.
Yeah, that's
Purely due to young, stupid dispersers. 100. Yeah, definitely.
So unfortunately,
I mean,
the young ones we know, they're easy. I don't want to say easier. They're just more
eager to
respond to
more
us.
curious. They're more curious than
Sure.
the older ones. You're like, hey,
And
that's-
even then, even at like beginning of the season, we'd go out and play rabbit, and that's it. And shit would come running in, but not in the last 2 years.
well,
Yeah.
well, definitely this year. Last year, I think distress a little
Couple
bit,
of-
but this year,
The only time I do distress is with a fight.
he's got it all on camera. He says.
Post them up. Let's see him.
What is that?
He's got all these shots on camera.
Oh, yeah.
But no, the first night of the season, this season,
3
2
howls.
Well, yeah, it was all howls and pup distress, but
Pop distress.
it should have been
Early
4
season. Yeah.
because I shot the one, dropped it, and the other one came right in and was sniffing the one I shot laying there.
It's like he shot one at falls, right? Then we went to pup distress.
Yeah.
Second dog comes up the field, stops
Yeah.
at the dead dog, was sniffing it, and I fired, and it was like I didn't even have bullets in my gun. That thing just turned around and ran the other way. And
Yeah.
I was like, well,
I
we're
know
starting
that.
off great.
I know that feeling.
We're starting off great, but it was totally me. It was
Yeah.
totally me, and I was excited. It was like it was the first night out.
Yeah, it was,
I think
October
that
1st.
was the first. I don't remember if it was the first. night
Josh
I
was
out
here
there, I
at
shot
like
that one.
sun wasn't even down yet. He was here in the driveway.
Yeah.
First night out is always like that.
I think I went out, but I don't think I shot anything. And it wasn't that long after that, a week or something, that the camera went off and I shot that one dog. And I was like, well, I'll run the call for a little bit. And it was like 20 minutes, and I was like, all right, well, I'll go down and get the other dog. Remember, we got like
Oh yeah, and you
30 yards
out.
from the gun, and I'm just scanning on my way down. I was like, well, shit. Just sitting there looking over the hill. Like, wow.
That's
a
happened to
bummer.
us too. Shot one, did the pup distress, waited, nothing.
Yeah.
Went down to recover, turned around, dog. Right there in there. So again, I forget who asked that question about time and sequences and stuff. There is
never know.
no playbook for this.
There's
okay?
no math to it. They're
You are
wild animals.
way overthinking it. You're
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about
Regardless of what you do, they're coming out when you leave.
right. Regardless, they do
They're
not.
coming out when they want to come
Yeah.
out.
Right. They
It
do
depends
not
if
have
there's-
the thought process to analyze it like that.
Yeah.
And on the Predator page, I feel like everybody, even, like call sequences, this 2 minutes, that 1 minute, this, no.
Yeah.
No.
That might be what works for
Sometimes
you at
we
your house
spread
with your
'em out.
coyotes.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes we spread them out between calls. Sometimes we
Yeah.
go one right after
That'd
another.
be like me calling you guys, like, hey, you guys want to go out to the bar? Man, I got shit to do. I'll be there. Well, maybe tomorrow type of shit.
Right.
Same fucking thing, man.
Yeah.
You guys want to go hunt some rabbits? The one guy was like, man, I'm going to stay here in the den, man.
Right.
You know?
I don't think that I'm no, wildlife,
But
expert.
from what we understand from doing this for a few years,
Yeah.
how many things have changed where we're like, we've done it this way for the longest time. We did it some way different, and now it's like proven even better than how we used to do it.
Yep, play sounds you
You know,
don't use.
yeah.
If you're using an e-caller,
Yeah.
I strongly suggest that everybody get hand calls at first and learn. But that's like the red light stuff.
I mean, you don't want to do anything that doesn't seem like it could be natural. But what's natural? They're wild animals, dude.
And
know
if
what I
you're
mean?
in
They're wild
distress, so
animals.
say it's a rabbit in distress, do you think it's laying there dying, going, "Okay, I'm only gonna cry for 1 minute"?
Right. Then I'm gonna pause for
Then I'm gonna
5
pause?
minutes, and then no, that thing's
it's
just squealing when it
situation.
wants to.
It's
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
It's what is are they like
Rabbit stuck in a fence, or is it being attacked by a hawk? You know what's happening.
Right.
Exactly.
Is it like when I do the fight with the rabbit, are they fighting over it?
Right.
Are they is it there's so many things and you can't a lot of guys try to like say that you can. They're like, this is what you need to do. Do it like this.
There's conventional,
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Okay.
But we've done some really unconventional shit.
Dude,
It's
we
worked.
called by my farm, what was that, last year? And nothing. Me and Chip are talking. He walks out to get the call, comes back. I turn around and look at the fucking coyote standing there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Josh, there's a coyote there. We had our guns packed
Yeah,
up.
we're all
He
packed
was
up.
because he
The
went
other
and got
one
the
with the gun is
call.
still sitting.
His was still in the tripod.
That was-
I'm like, shoot that son.
That was the first night. That was opening day last
year.
season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moonlit night, kind of
Like you
moonlit.
said, man, it's so weird. Because everybody's like, you know,
It's
you
a
want to
wild
stand,
animal. You
you
say
want to
it's the
stand
best.
with brush behind you. They'll see you. I
No,
shot a
I
bunch
think
of
it's
the top
kinda-
of the world. There's no more skyline than that in this whole county.
I think though you
And I've
do
shot
try
a
to
ton over
generate
there.
a story though when you're calling.
Sure.
You know?
That's exactly what
Well,
you
like
want.
I said, I mean, you do what you think might sound right, but what sounds right in nature. You know what I mean? It's
I've-
kind of a crapshoot.
Pierre, that's pretty deep, man. What sounds right in nature?
Listen,
Pat did one credit.
I shot.
Bad TM.
Yeah.
I like one night I just kind of threw on in a random thing a fox distress, red fox. All of a sudden, freaking 2 coyotes come running,
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay.
Now I played Fox Dress, not seen fucking
There's
things.
so many people that like just don't even.
Well,
think
I was
about
after
it
the
'cause it doesn't-
foxes, but
Yeah.
they didn't.
But you know, like I said, that's that little kind of gauntlet per se that you run. You know, you're like, well, let me play some raccoons, and I hear hunt raccoons, and nothing but coyotes show up, and there's guys who are like, wow, I kill coyotes all the time. Like, well, have you tried raccoon distress or whatever? Because they come into that shit at my house. You know what I mean? So, like I said, what makes sense? You know, it's nature. They're just gonna do whatever they want that particular night. You know.
I'm reading comments. Sorry,
Did you have
guys,
to
can
scroll
do-
up a little?
Yeah.
They're chiming in, but we don't know they're chiming in.
Yeah, well, it's
Making
Dennis.
valid points, probably.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, they're just talking about Dennis's past experiences.
In the steel chair, you mean?
No.
Welcome to One Predator. You get the chair.
Man, that
Everybody's
poor
first
freaking
podcast
guy.
experience. You have to sit in a steel
Right.
chair. It's actually
Josh can't sit no more. How long have we been at this anyway?
Almost 2 hours.
2 hours? No
We
fucking
started
way.
at 9:30. Yeah. Oh man, yeah.
It's nap time.
Nap time. I'm just getting
Alright.
I
started.
got a screwed up day tomorrow.
All right.
I'm not looking forward to it.
It's all good. No, I think.
Did we learn anything tonight?
Did we learn anything?
We learned that Britney Spears plays
Hit me
through
one
a
more time.
scope if it's
If
you're
it's close enough to the
yeah.
radio
All the drops of
transmission
Jupiter.
tower.
Drops of
We
Jupiter,
can't
drops of
figure-
Jupiter,
we can't
yeah.
figure that.
Stand set up, I guess. Look at where you're going.
Yeah, we covered that a little bit.
That was a good.
Some stories.
It's a good session. There it is. That's the cue.
That's the dog serving on the
Ellie's drinking water.
Shout out
border town. Yep. Go
Shout
ahead.
out Border Town. Yeah.
That's it.
Border
Get your
town.
whole. Get your whole.
Oh,
Sure,
I
officers.
will
If-
say this: if I've been meaning to do this, and I don't have my phone because we're running off it. I had an issue with my remote on my Lucky Duck. Now, everybody knows.
We thrive on customer service.
Shower with friends, yes, Tony.
Oh,
Always the dirty South guys. You know what I mean? Anyway,
don't forget your windmill.
yeah. Oh God.
all right.
Anyway,
Lucky Duck.
Lucky
Lucky
Duck.
Duck color.
So I had problems with my remote. Well, I didn't have problems with it. I changed the batteries in it, and the spring broke out of my remote. I attempted to fix it, which putting a soldering iron in my hands is fucking dangerous. I can weld, but that's metal and metal.
All steel, yeah. You put plastic.
You mix
nearby.
plastic in the mix, I'm gonna fuck shit up. So I, my girl, and I don't have your name because it's over there on my phone, and she works for customer service for Lucky Duck. I've worked with her before when I had power switch issues. She sent me a power switch. I messaged her and said, hey, this is what happened. It's probably user error. Can you do anything, or do I have to buy a remote? She texted me back that she had to check. 25, 30 minutes later, she texted me back. She goes, your new remote will be in the mail tomorrow. So you can use any fucking call you want, man. You can use any scope you want.
The customer service is big.
Huge.
Service.
And I say it all the time because all this stuff we use, our tripods, all this stuff is expensive.
Yeah.
And we are working folk. And
And we use and abuse our
We-
crap.
Yeah.
well, even predator hunting is tough on equipment.
Right.
You're out in elements.
Yeah.
Uh,
Stuff's banging and clanging. And,
Right. You're
Yeah.
always in,
In
it's,
and out of the truck.
yeah. So I was going out hunting with Steve one night, and I broke my remote. My girl came through for me, I had a new remote that week. It was not new. It was returned, refurb.
Yeah, refurb. Yeah.
But she was like, "Do you want a refurb? 'Cause that's all I have." I'm like,
Send
"Does
it."
it work?"
yeah. Working is the key part.
I'm in-
right?
that's
Is
a
it
way
melted?
better
Is it
situation.
melted
It
at
was
all?
still in better shape than yours.
Yes. So I
Even
mean,
if you just send me the case to it, I'll
Here-
be all right with it.
right. So what I'm thinking about doing as like a side hustle is I'm gonna have a Lucky Duck salvage yard. And I told her, I said, because I've talked to Rick before everybody has. If you ever had to deal with Verminator predator calls, you've probably spoke to Rick at one time or another. He's a great guy. I told her, I said, this call is going to be in the Lucky Duck Museum someday because there is thousands of hours on this thing. It's like
It's duct taped and
Oh, my
soldered
God.
and
It's got blood
super glued back
everywhere.
together.
And you know what I mean? It's
Perfect.
like, so they hooked me up, and that's why I use them. Okay,
Yeah.
that's why Pulsar is why we use Pulsar, because if we have an issue, Tony usually hooks us up with our Pulsar rep. Everything is fine.
Yeah.
Sniper Hog, same thing. If you're looking for lights and you have a Sniper Hog light, if something goes wrong with it, they will fix it,
Yeah.
and it's super important.
I wish they would trade me for a 66. for
No,
the Coyote
they're
Canyon.
no, I don't
That
think
would
that's
be
gonna
nice.
happen. I was super sad when they got rid of the Coyote Can. It was a great light, but
Except you can't see anything.
The Hyperion's a lot lighter though.
so much lighter.
So much lighter.
And so much more crystal clear
Yes.
than the one that I have.
Yeah, and it must be something with the modules. I don't know. Or the glass they use for the lenses.
Everybody said
Yeah,
that.
they use Swarovski crystal.
Yeah, could be. Could be
Everybody said it, yeah.
Customer service huge. So if you
But-
are getting into it, there's a lot of people that are like, "Oh yeah, well I'll buy this because it's cheaper." But yeah, well, if something goes wrong with that,
Hey, you got to buy it twice. Yeah, you
you buy
spend
it
more
twice.
money. Yeah.
If you deal with one company that cares about their customers,
Yeah.
and Rick with Verminator and Lucky Duck, I can't say enough good things about.
Brian with the hand calls.
Brian with the hand calls. I have yet to break one of Brian's calls. But
We're trying.
I'm really trying
Working on it.
because I have his digits, so I'll be like, "Hey, yo."
Super fanboy just wants to have a chat.
Yeah.
Like when I was on the phone for 3 hours with Brian and I.
Yeah, me and Brian can talk about fucking...
Yeah.
And it's just like when... That's why he links so well with us.
It's kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the podcast here, where you figure you'd be on for an hour or 3 hours later.
Well, that's
you're
it, is
still
we
rolling.
can... He's just like us.
We
you know?
started the shutdown
Oh, yeah.
process 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, well,
That
I
was
had
about
to-
5
I had-
minutes ago. Yeah.
Now
I
put
had to-
plugs in. put
I had
plugs
to
in.
add my bit.
You
for,
can usually
Lucky
tell
Duck.
when CJ's on the phone with Brian, though, because he'll slide in and hit that reject button right away.
Well, talking coyote things, man.
Yeah. Hey, we don't fault you.
Thanks for sticking around with us, guys.
Sorry
we're
if
gonna
we
call
babble.
this one.
We're not
Find us
sorry.
here on Facebook, One Predator page, all your favorite podcasting,
Spotify,
apps,
Apple, YouTube.
Amazon, YouTube, all of those. Thanks for sticking it out with us. And yeah, we'll catch you in the next one.
This is probably still recording until we shut it off.
Oh, yeah. It's bye-bye, everybody. Toodles.
The audio's not on, all right?
Mm.